Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
All right, then. I guess we'll do this. Hi, good morning. It's Glenn Clark Radio. You might have known that from the song. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin. Intern Jake is here. Got a lot to do on the program today. Coming up a little bit later on at this hour, we're going to be joined by former MLB outfielder, World Series champ, Preston Wilson. He's got a new gig. He's going to be managing the Frederick Keys in the MLB Draft League. So we're going to talk to him about that. Just look back up at the TV, and it's not getting better. It's a problem.
There's a lot of time left.
Mm-hmm.
You did the same thing last week. Is this just what you do? You try to, like, jinx it? Is that?
No, I'm pragmatic. It's not about jinxing. It's about pragmatism.
Yeah, pragmatism is
Francis
that he's
is-
probably going to come back.
No, Francis is not a good clay court player. It's kind of a miracle.
Well, and how's he already
he's
here?
Reached the second. The quarterfinals is unbelievable. The draw kind of broke for him. I don't
Look at that.
see that. Yeah, that was a good serve.
Yeah.
If it was in.
No, it wasn't a serve. It was a return, wasn't it?
No, it was. No, he was serving. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, yeah, he is serving, but,
Yeah.
like, that wasn't the point. He didn't score the point on the serve.
Right, it was out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see.
I'm like, or was it? Was it an ace? Whatever. Anyway, let's do this. And
Yeah,
I'll deal
no,
with
apparently
Francis
not.
I'll deal with Francis as the show goes on. Hi. I was saying that Preston Wilson is going to join us. Also, later on in the program, a couple of stars of the Maryland Whipsnakes. Maryland's own Matt Rambo and the legend Rob Pannell will be joining us in studio. Homecoming weekend is just a few weeks away, so we'll talk to them about that. Rob Pannell joining the Whipsnakes at this point in his career. All sorts of stuff. What the hell happened in the opener on Saturday? What the hell happened to the offense is the real question.
They're going to face the music is what.
Yeah, we're putting them on the hot seat today. They think they're just coming in here like, by the way, do we have a bar stool. Are we gonna like make them duke it out over who gets the good chair and who gets the bar? How confident are we about this chair?
I'm pretty confident.
Didn't we have an incident related to this chair?
I mean,
I feel
I'm
like
not
this
worried
is something
about
that we
it.
said 3 times we needed to put some top men on.
I screwed the thing in, so
There we go.
I said top men.
not
What-
the intern.
Where do you
I
expect
said-
us? Where do you expect us to
I
go for these
said
top men?
Top men.
Where
is what I
exactly
was
do you
looking-
expect us to go for?
That's what I was looking for.
Said top men.
Yeah, I said top men.
Sometimes you just
you're
gotta
look-
work with what you got.
You're looking at them, just so you know.
All right, yeah, looking forward to that. All right, so that's what's coming up on the program today. Controversy afoot at Monday Night Trivia.
Oh, okay.
We had to play the game under protest. And we have
Wow.
not heard back from the league office yet, but some chicanery involved in the visual round, round 6 of Monday Night Trivia. I'm going to present this to you, and you tell me what the problem would be. All right? The category was Hall of Famers. Up on the screen it said, name this Hall of Famer. And then the way the visual rounds worked, they put up 5 pictures.
Picture you first.
Yeah, I am in many halls of fame. The first picture they put up, we look up at the screen, and it's someone wearing a Colts jersey. It's certainly someone not from the Indianapolis Colts.
Gotcha.
It's someone wearing a number in the 70s.
Oh.
And we say, well, that's interesting. I as my buddy says, well, it's got to be Bubba Smith. Now, the picture was of Bubba Smith.
Ah.
Nice.
Tell me what's wrong with that.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Perceptive man. Bubba Smith, great guy.
Is he in the Colts Hall of Fame? Is that?
He's in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Well, then there you go.
Here's the problem. He wasn't wearing a Michigan State uniform.
Right.
He
well,
was
then no
wearing
one's
a
going to know
Colts uniform. And he was not. There's also not a Colts Hall of Fame. I think they have a ring of whatever that they do. He's not in the Football Hall of Fame.
A horseshoe of honor, if you will, probably.
So when my buddy says that's Bubba Smith, I say, it can't be. He's not in the Hall of Fame. And the category, you may remember, was name the Hall of Famer.
Bless
you. Thank you.
So I said, well, Jim Parker certainly wore a number in the 70s and was also a black man. I don't think it's Jim Parker, but it can't be Bubba Smith, even though it looks like Bubba Smith. I guess we'll write down Jim Parker because he is, qualified. What do you think the answer was?
Well, I got a feeling. Was it Bubba Smith?
It was Bubba Smith.
Okay.
Now, immediately, when they said that out loud, I couldn't help myself. I yelled out for all of the bar to hear, Bubba Smith isn't in the Hall of Fame. Now, because I'm a man who, I'm not trying to cheat anybody on this. I'm not trying to get one over on anyone. I walk up. It was a backup quizmaster in charge last night.
It sounds like they were probably ill prepared for
whatever the
controversy
whatever
fate you were bringing.
That was afoot. Our normal quizmaster would say, you're right. He's not in the Hall of Fame, and would basically just give everybody the points. Now, that would also be kind of bogus because there were plenty of people that didn't know it was Bubba Smith and had no idea Bubba Smith wasn't in the Hall of Fame and just wrote down any old name. But that's about the only thing you can do in a situation like this. The people who wrote down Bubba Smith
Bubba
would
Smith
say,
was an actor?
Yeah, did you really? Oh, God.
What movies?
Police
Lots of them.
Academy.
Yeah, Police Academy.
They're most famously for the Police Academy movies. Look, the people who wrote down Bubba Smith would say, well, we knew that was who the picture was of, so we
Charlie's Angels.
we deserve to get the points, except that they were also wrong because they wrote down the name of someone who wasn't in the Hall of Fame when the question was name the Hall of Famer.
Right. Okay.
So I want reparations.
So they didn't give you the point,
They did not
okay.
give us the points.
And they gave
the people who gave the answer Bubba Smith, which you would say, well, that's correct. That's who was in the picture. Except it isn't correct because the question was name the Hall of Famer, and Bubba Smith isn't a Hall of Famer.
For pro
So
football.
what are we going to do about this, huh?
We're going to
What are you
riot.
prepared to do? Are we going to march?
I mean,
Yeah,
if
we're going to march.
I can get some
Thank
people.
you, Jake.
If
We're
I
going to
were-
march down to I don't know, Trivia, Maryland, or whatever the name of the. Find where their office is, and we're going to go protest.
Is it walkable?
If
I don't know.
if I were you,
I might be out.
We might drive over and then start
Yeah,
marching.
just walk out is probably what you should have done.
Of trivia, we just should have just left,
Yeah.
just walked out on the bill
Demand
and
your
everything.
money back. Yeah.
Hmm.
Just said that's it. We will never return to this establishment. That's what you're
Well,
suggesting.
you should have made an even bigger scene. What's your name? What's your
Yeah,
who's your
who's
badge?
manager?
What's your quizmaster?
By the way,
badge
the backup
number?
quizmaster suggested he was one of the higher ups. So this
at Quiz
Okay.
Maryland,
this
whatever
conspiracy goes straight to the top.
so maybe it's almost as.
And you know what else?
You think you're gonna get your?
You know what else? They're making the frogs gay. I swear to God.
You think you're gonna get your normal quizmaster in trouble then? Because he's like, if your normal quizmaster's giving you that point, then we can't have that.
Well,
You
I
think-
didn't want to go there.
Okay.
And that's what my
so you didn't
team was
bring-
like. You should
Smart.
fight this. I said, first of all, we're running away with the regular season title. So these points were not.
Yeah, but how do you think you run away with the regular? It's because you fight everything.
Correct. We make sure. Well, the questions need to be correct. Like
If the Chiefs are up 42-7,
what I
and
would
there's
say
a BS
is
call.
this is the problem
know.
with this. I wouldn't say the answer is wrong because the picture clearly is of Bubba Smith. I would say the question is wrong, right? The question is the problem, not the answer.
You don't think a manager's ever been thrown out of a game? They're up like 13-0 in.
Is it worth it? Are you really out there haggling when it's 13-0? How about you just go out there and be like, hey, the guy thought it was a strike. I got to come out here and pretend. Can we just can you yell at me a little bit, and then I'll go back to the
Okay,
dugout.
so that's what you're
Can we-
saying in the situation more.
That was
more
sort
so
of the situation that I was
Okay.
in last night, where I said, it's not worth it. Now, we were very passive-aggressive. John Proctor,
Who knew it was Bubba Smith?
our movie guy. in
Ah,
fact,
really?
Because, he's an actor. Basically just named the one guy that he could name that was a Baltimore Colt. But when I looked up, I'm like, yeah, that does look like Bubba Smith. I'll be honest with you, it does. But again, can't possibly be the answer because the question was named the Hall of Famer. Now, what they're going to say is, oh, well, technically, we didn't say it had to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's the type of, and as I said, and literally that's what I said to the guy, because I walked up and I said, look, Bubba Smith's in the College Football Hall of Fame, but you put him up there in a picture in a Colts uniform. If you put him up there in a picture in a Michigan State uniform, that guy is in the Hall of Fame, and that would be warranted. And he said, well, but technically he's in a Hall of Fame. And I'm like, right. And Mike Bordick's probably in like the Lewiston, Maine Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like, we could do this forever. I could be in the Chapel Hill Elementary School Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure it was me and Matt Beshy, but then we had that terrible incident in the sack race in 5th grade where, there's some controversy involved with that.
So you kind of graduated in disgrace.
I'm not here to discuss that. We've moved on.
So I got a question. There's a movie
Hang on
guy.
a second. I am prepared to take questions.
Oh, okay.
Now,
good.
who has the... Look, this is obviously a significant controversy, and we need to get to the bottom of it. First question, yes, Intern Jake.
Glenn. So
Yes.
you guys have a movie guy, right?
Yes, we have a movie guy on the team.
Are you, so you're the sports guy?
I'm supposed to be the sports guy.
And what are the other guys? Well, how big's your team, and what's the
we have
specials?
we have a 6-member team, but one of them never shows up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's awkward because he's one of our smarts. We have 2.
Listen, I'm trying to show up when I can. All right.
Yeah, thanks. Griffin showed up once, answered no question.
Yeah,
Yes, I
Griff.
did. I got something. I think.
No, you answered something that everybody else on the team knew.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
But I answered it.
yeah.
He's helping.
I'm the
I ran
sports.
up a few scorecards.
I'm the sports guy. We have the movie guy. I'm also I have a very interesting niche. I'm the sports guy.
The Bible guy.
I'm the Bible guy, which
Okay.
is really weird.
All right.
Really weird. Luckily all the Bible questions are fairly easy.
He moonlights as a devout Christian.
Yeah,
Yes,
correct.
Nice.
One of them was like, "What's the last book of the Old Testament?" And I was like, "Malachi." And they all looked at me like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "Isn't that just a thing that people like a general trivia thing that people know?" And they were like, "No." I'm like, "All right, then so I know it." I am the female politicians guy randomly. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Like, do you guys know who the lieutenant governor of Virginia is?
Yeah, Stacy.
Uh-huh.
Abrams.
No.
Dang it. I think that's Georgia.
Yes, and not the lieutenant governor, but what she was. I actually think. No, she was she lieutenant governor?
No, I think she's just a regular
She's a
governor.
Georgia politician. But
You
I
need
don't
us
remember.
next week.
Yeah, right. It's Winsome Sears is her name. And like again, one night that was a question. It was like who became the first ever black female lieutenant governor of Virginia, and I was like, oh, Winsome Sears. And everybody on the team looked at me like, why do you know that? I'm like, isn't that just a thing people know? Turns out no one else in the bar knew it. I was the only person in the bar
Isn't that a thing?
that got that correct. I said, I guess that's my areas, and I'm the music guy too. So
What do you need the rest of the team for?
well,
Exactly.
anything that you might actually need to know for like life. If it involves science or math,
Outdoors.
or history, we really struggle
you're
in
bad
like
history.
geography. That's not a great area for us. So yeah, we have a Boy Scout on the team. So whenever there's a Boy Scout or Pokemon related question, we're in good shape. That's
Those
my-
two usually go
That's
together.
my cousin Duncan. That's his role. Last night he remembered the other parts of the Fifth Amendment. Like we all know that you don't have to self-incriminate, right? Like I plead the Fifth, but apparently it also involves like 8 other things.
Was it double jeopardy? Is that what
Yeah, double jeopardy
Yeah.
is part of the Fifth Amendment. There are 3 other things, but he remembered the other parts of the Fifth Amendment, so like that was very helpful to us. We have a gay, and so he's there for Madonna and Britney Spears related questions.
I thought you just meant gay questions.
No.
Yeah, he's there for all the gay
In fact,
questions.
when we got there last night, he said, "You're paying for my because it's Pride Month, right?" And he was like, "You're paying for my dinner tonight." I'm like,
Also, Men's Mental Health Month.
"Thank you." Is it
Yeah.
mental health or is it just Men's Health Month?
Men's Mental Health Month.
Mental health month.
okay.
Who's the sports science guy?
John Brinkus.
Yeah,
Really.
rest in
I didn't
peace.
talk about John yesterday, man. I'll give me a second. I knew John pretty well. I meant to talk about him yesterday. And then John Proctor is sort of like our all-around. John Proctor is like the guy that's like tried out for Jeopardy many times. Like he's actually a quiz master on other nights. So he's like a general knowledge like rant. Like he knew the Suez Canal last night. Like he knows random stuff like that.
Suez?
What's that?
Suez?
I don't. Yeah, whatever.
I thought it was Suez.
Why did you think it was?
I thought it was Suez.
No, it's definitely not Suez. It's definitely not that. I mean, Suez Beats. That's exactly what it is.
Definitely not.
So that's our crew. And again, the movie guy missed the movie final last night.
And that's Bubba Smith wasn't involved.
Correct. That's the second time he's missed a movie final. One time in the playoffs.
Does he have any options left? Like, what are we doing here?
We're getting into Heston Kjerstad territory. You know what I mean? Like, he does pretty well. He really. One of the questions last night was what 4 Martin Scorsese films have earned at least $100 million at the box office, and he only went 2 for 4.
Shutter? No, not Shutter.
You haven't. I mean,
Taxi.
Is this what you were doing? Okay.
All right. Do you have any? You can't.
I can name the one on Netflix.
What are your guesses?
I don't think those do box office numbers.
Do you think Shutter Island?
Never seen it.
I feel like I'll go Shutter Island.
All right.
What else did he? Now I gotta remember. Because
I
feel like
it's
I
going to go way too
long.
We're not
Inception.
I'm going to take back the offer to let you have this. You would have gotten one though, and one that we did not get. Talked himself out of Shutter Island. We also talked ourselves out of The Aviator and went with Goodfellas instead, and The Aviator ended up being the other one.
Goodfellas
we missed.
didn't.
What's that?
Goodfellas did not.
Did not make. I mean, it was a different era of movies, but like I still it was Goodfellas. We're like, there's a real chance. The Wolf of Wall Street, obviously. The Departed, of course, obviously made $100 million. What also did not was Gangs of New York, which we guessed. Gangs of New York somehow did not make $100 million. Moral of the story being,
well, this is good for you because you can blame him.
Well, he screwed up. The final was, what was the last PG? It was at the 62nd Annual Academy Awards. What was the last PG-rated film to have won Best Picture? You're not getting this.
The Goonies.
I don't know why we're pretending like
Cars 2.
No, the Goonies. Cars 2. Yes, that was the
62nd. Yeah.
Best Picture. You got it.
Maybe Cars 1, but
like asking Drew Forrester, who plays for the Knicks. Like, you think he's not gonna get John Starks?
What year was the 62nd? It was like
89 or 90, somewhere in that range.
Top Gun was probably
I don't know
PG-13.
why you're continuing to guess. There's no chance you're getting it. It was Driving Miss Daisy.
Driving Miss Daisy, right there.
Yeah. And he came up with it 30 seconons after we turned in our sheet.
Did you run back up there?
Very helpful.
Or this quizmaster already hated you guys, so you weren't gonna get
John
it.
Proctor was like on other answers, like writing Bubba Smith related thing. Like he wrote like one, he would like write Bubba Smith and cross it out, and then write the correct answer just to twist the knife. And I don't blame him for that because it is bull ass. And we got away from the point. We got away from. I was taking questions about the controversy. Do we have any more questions about the controversy?
What do you guys?
I'm not here to talk about other things.
Glenn, are you gonna show up next week?
I gotta think about it. They're gonna need to be changes. I'm not gonna. I might take some time, go do some ayahuasca in the woods. Maybe take like a darkness retreat. Perhaps.
Will you
be back?
Will you arrive for OTAs?
Go on the Pat McAfee show a few times and say nothing.
All this and be back in a week?
Well, I just got to think. I got to take my time. I'm not committing to anything.
What about trivia OTAs on Sunday?
No chance. No chance in hell that I'm showing up for trivia OTAs. No chance of that happening. Any more questions about the controversy? Any more from the assembled media that are here?
I have an uncontroversy related question.
Not sure I'm willing to field those today, but
please,
we'll see where this goes.
What do you guys eat there? And drink.
Well, I don't drink anymore.
Glenn drinks about 3 or 4 beers, and then
I stick to
sometimes 5.
I stick to soda water.
Okay.
Not a drinker anymore. In my
and every
life.
time he gets a question right, just him, he buys a round of shots for everybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that is the rule. If you go shot short, if you're confident when there's a debate about an answer, and you want to put the hammer down, you say shot sure, and then the deal is if you get it wrong, you're supposed to buy the entire table a round of shots. Now we go out and play trivia on a Monday
and
night.
that's what makes Glenn cool. When he gets it right, he buys it.
And half of us, no, the majority of us are in our 40s. So like it's just not. We got one 26-year-old that my cousin randomly comes along with us. The rest of us are very much in our 40s, so we're not getting out.
So he does cup of cream and crab, sure.
Correct. That's what he says. That's exactly what it is. I think we had a rule that we would go body shot, sure. That if we were wrong, we had to do body shots off of our movie guy.
That sounds fair.
It's not getting better, Griffin. It's not.
It's still early. Well, that was what was good, is that the first set went really quick, so he saved all his
Bono
energy.
once asked, "Is it getting better?"
He saved all his energy for the second set. Yeah.
Then he fell behind again.
Well, again, this is
quick. Anyway, moral of the story being, we got to see a man, got to see a guy about a thing, because this is not going to stand. This is not okay, and I'm.
You gonna write letters?
Someone like CM Punk. I'm gonna be the voice of the voiceless. That's the way it's gonna go here.
Is that what CM Punk said?
He definitely says voice of the voiceless. That's among the many things he says. All right, today's show is brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. You heard from Dr. Farrar yesterday. Men, you reach a certain age and you just don't feel like yourself anymore, and you can't understand why. You're like, what? I don't get it. And what can I do about it? And sometimes it might be because, legitimately, you're low T. Sometimes it's just, this is the way that aging works. And, like, say, taking off weight is a little bit harder. You might have performance issues in the bedroom. Sometimes you just don't want to feel sore as hell every time you wake up in the morning. You want to be able to recover a little bit better and get going and not drag. And so, Game Day Men's Health, and I go to Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, has been unbelievably helpful for me in that way. Getting me answers about what's going on, making me feel like a younger version of myself. I've been taking protein peptides. The peptide treatment has been phenomenal for me, and I'm only a couple of weeks in, and I've already noticed, like, I played 2.5 hours of tennis on Sunday night, and I didn't have to go through a production waking up on Monday morning. GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website. You can get a complimentary testosterone test. GameDayMen'sHealth.com, or give them a call at Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, 443-264-4454 for Game Day Men's Health. We're in a very nervous moment for your pal. This is big.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be my turn.
I told you Jaffa's going to come back.
It's about to be my turn to try to purchase Savannah Bananas tickets. My time is 10:30 this morning.
Gotcha.
And I am extraordinarily nervous.
I think you'll be okay.
Do
you just click a button? Is that what?
Yeah, and I'm sure everything just goes. They're like, "Oh, good to see you, pal. Here you are. Could we also give you a back rub?" I don't think that's the way it works. I've played this game a time or two, so I'm very nervous about how this is going to go. And I would sign it to somebody else, but, like, you got to have all these passwords, and they make you, like, triple check and put your identity. Like, they are really working hard to try to keep these tickets away from scalpers.
So you have your ID on you?
Good for them. Yeah. Right?
Like, you need your driver's license number?
Do I need a copy of today's newspaper in order to prove? Do I need a hair sample? Can you go ahead and rip some of my hairs out?
It's like a 15-minute interview, right? To, like...
Griffin's like, Glenn, you got to do the show. I'm like, no, I'm just over here. Hi, Joey Savannah.
Joey Savannah? Is that what their names are?
I don't know.
Joey Savannah?
I don't know. Did you see them this weekend? They're in Anaheim, and they had a Hamilton ham porter. Took it
yes,
back.
I did see that.
It was awesome. It was awesome. God, that was cool, man. Oh, if you missed that. They had other, like, John Lackey pitch, because they were, like, he used to pitch for the Angels, and Troy Gloss, I think. But they had Patrick Renna, who, among other things, because he also legendarily was the and had a role as well on Glow, the Netflix wrestling series. But Patrick Renna, who most famously, of course, played the great Hambino, Hamilton Porter. Are you showing it?
Yes, we were watching. He always emerging from the dugout.
Yeah. And then he does the whole thing. He calls his shot. Oh, it was great, man. It was so great. I don't know who would get that. Like who would get that kind of pop here?
Oh, here.
Like these are kids, so like I don't think they can pull out Snoop from The Wire
His first swing, yeah, right.
to taking it back. Like I don't think the kids in the crowd would be like, "Oh, you should have her swing with a nail
all
gun."
the kids are there with adults, so
Yeah, I know, but like
with a nail gun.
you know what I mean? Like I don't think that would go over so well. I think there'd be a lot of confusion in the crowd if that was the route that the Savannah Bananas took. I don't know what the option would be. I don't know who that. I can't think of any other like Baltimore-related kids. I guess Hairspray was fairly family-friendly. Fairly. You just have John Travolta, but the kids don't watch. The kids haven't watched Hairspray. I don't know. I don't know what
the
it
kids
would
will
be.
like John Travolta. Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but what I know is
It's not for the kids. It's for you.
Yeah, right. F them kids. Who said that? Was it Michael Jordan?
Yeah, it was Michael Jordan.
Who said F them kids? That's what I'm going with. That's the way that I feel about the subject. So yeah, nervy moments for me as it's about to be my when's it gonna be my turn? It's about to be my turn to try to purchase Savannah.
So you have to be ready
Bananas
now
tickets.
is what you're
Mm-hmm.
you think it
I'm
could
trying to
start early?
time this out
Oh, so we take
to
a break.
take the break at the most opportune
Alex,
time.
help me think of something to bring up so we can distract Glenn and miss the
No.
break. And
And
then
that I will whoop that ass.
maybe what you should have done to the Quizmaster yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Teach him
I
all.
also
You should have
know-
fought him.
I also no longer know what my password is for the
Ooh.
radio station email
Ooh.
that I used in
Oh.
order to get in the lottery.
Oh, that's the one that like got picked.
I have it on my. I'm already still signed into my phone, so I can go
Okay.
that route. But I was hoping to do it on.
on the old laptop.
Yeah, right. And like that would seem more desirable. But again, I'm up against it time wise, so I might not have.
Well,
much
I
of a
mean,
choice.
and if you don't get it, I mean, then you can just buy some. You know, you can just buy some resale tickets.
I'm telling you, they like really.
I think I saw what it's a Friday Saturday, right? I think
Yeah, that
one of the
sounds right.
days it's like $500.
Yeah.
It's like the get in price.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Look at that,
It's
Tiafoe won a set, or
Well,
sorry, won a game.
Or I was finally fired by the radio station, and that's the reason why I can't get in.
There's that too. Call
I-
Charlie. See,
I
Charlie, I'm
never-
trying to get bananas tickets.
Yeah, right. I never know. I always have to just add. Oh nope! I just had to add one more exclamation point. That was my deal at the radio station because they made you change your password every 20 minutes.
Mm.
They're like, "Hey, it's been nearly an hour since you last changed your password. It's time to do it again." I'm like, what the? What?
I just made it like whatever sport I happen to be watching. I was like, yeah, I'll just make it that that guy's name.
Allegedly, they don't even tell you where.
Tiafoe.
They don't tell you where your seats are. Like you
So
just
you could get row
all
one.
the tickets are the same price, and you just say this is the number of tickets.
Well, hopefully you're in the bird bath.
I don't know if they're doing that for the Savannah Bananas. I don't know if that's the way that it works. Are we
The
gonna do
banana
this-
bath?
Are we gonna do this live and
The
get?
banana bath.
Are we gonna?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's
right?
get your reaction.
Colton Cowser's back.
I did see that.
Thank goodness.
Colton Cowser and Cooper
I-
Hummel, the poor guy.
I had a nightmare as well so I saw it like I was seeing the alert for the first time again while I was like apparently in a dream.
Hang
and
on,
I thought
I just
the-
got my. Shut up!
And I thought the
Oh.
I just got my
corresponding
email. Shut up!
and I
Oh,
thought
God.
the corresponding move in my
Shut
dream
up!
was that they put Gunner on the IL.
Oh my God!
And I
Why
was
are you
like-
still talking?
Gunner.
Yeah.
Gunner.
No, Gunner's fine. But for whatever, I woke up and I was like, God, this is
Shut up,
bad.
shut up,
And then
shut
I
up, you.
had to double check.
That's not my password.
Glenn, I got a question
Uh-oh.
for you.
Hang on. Shut up!
So you just want us to sit here in silence instead? Is that what?
All right, I forgot my password. I gotta get a login code.
Uh-oh.
Jesus
Uh-oh.
Christ! This is
10:29. You got plenty of time.
I'll
No,
scream
I-
it out
no, I
loud over the
don't.
air.
I'm screwed.
Should we just start saying numbers? And like,
Should we do
code
this
the
tidbit
email.
for him right now?
Hang on. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah.
Here's my login code.
5 rookies have scored hat tricks in their PLL debut.
Wonderful. That's great.
That's a good one. Yeah, send that to me.
I'm not a robot. Come on. I'm logged in. Access game day tickets. Shut up!
Sometimes he
Shut
kind
up!
of is a
Shut
robot.
up!
So should we?
I don't have tickets. I want to purchase tickets. How the hell am I doing this?
How much are the tickets not for
God,
resale?
I'm sick of you.
Card
I'm
declined for
actually-
insufficient funds.
Look at that. Tiafoe's took the lead.
Hey,
At least in the
Tiafoe.
second set. I mean, won 2
Did you get a
games.
break? That's great.
He did
That's
break. He did get a break.
All right, I've got 18 seconds before.
He needs
tickets
another
become
break.
available.
See, look at that.
10.
He's
This
locked
is going to
in.
determine whether or not
9.
I even get a Father's Day this year. All right, like if this doesn't go well, they're skipping right past it. Like,
Oh, the boys are gonna be mad.
oh, livid. Their friends are all going,
and they're not
going
gonna
to
give you a Father's Day.
Okay, reload the page. We mean reload the page.
I thought this was more for you than them.
Shit,
It
it's
sounds
definitely
like
not.
it.
I promise you, it is not.
It seems like it is.
Come
You love
on!
the bananas.
Yeah.
It's not reloading the page. I'm definitely getting F'd here.
All right, let me get off the Wi-Fi. Actually,
I
not.
swear to
I just
God.
pulled up 3 YouTube videos, actually.
Oh, hello. What day do I want? I don't
just
care.
opened SoundCloud.
I don't care.
Upload yesterday's recordings again.
Yeah.
Why not?
What? They're $40?
That seems good.
It's a steal.
Better than 500.
They're like allegedly. I don't want to talk about this.
So you could pay. You could be front row, like section 8, or you could be also row 30, section 370 is what.
More or less.
Okay. And it's gonna be $40 no matter what.
Seats, I gotta pay the
Well, maybe you just gotta show up first. Is it like first come, first serve?
Got to get there first, probably.
Oh yeah, they're already gone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Isn't this why they do these little email windows so that way you get your tickets as long as you're paying attention?
I might be in. It's gonna cost me $300. God
Jeez.
Lord.
Pocket
can you
change.
get me one? Make it $350 or whatever.
Yeah.
No. Me and Griff
Hold on
want
a
to go
second.
too, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Deal with it on your own time.
Please, we want to sit with
How many
you and your
you allowed to buy?
family.
Yeah.
I gotta buy $60.
No,
tickets.
I don't really want to sit with you guys. I just want to resell the tickets for
You're
that
not-
way I can take a month off. And
Yeah, good luck. I'm not. Hang on a second.
I'm going to find the biggest guy I can find and offer him my ticket for free just to sit next to you guys.
$300. $300.
Congratulations. Is that what you say? Congratulations. How many are you buying?
5.
Hmm.
Because that's the most you're allowed to buy.
6?
So.
Oh, darn it.
You're most allowed. You're buying. So I've got the.
Well, you
fourth for
could
my
so
thing.
sell.
If you really want to be the 5th, we can talk about it.
What you should do
But
is you should sell that 5th one and then you
right.
break even.
I don't think they really make it difficult for you to do that. Like if you get caught.
Like if I go on a ticket buying app here, it says they're available, but it's like
Is it actually?
yeah, on the app I
All right,
use.
I guess I got.
But it says
tickets.
they're like literally $500.
All right.
I use that app too.
I would like to then send me an email.
Yeah,
that
don't
says
say it because they don't give us
that
money.
I have
so.
tickets. That would be nice if they did that. It would be.
See what the
preferable.
heck? It's like only $90, and they're in Charlotte this weekend.
It allegedly says I have somewhere.
But
I have tickets on the third base line. That's what it says to me.
All right.
Well, that's a good spot. And see, look at this. This is the most expensive I've seen.
Kids better.
$582 to get it is what they're available on the app right now.
For how many tickets?
For like 2. It would be each $582 each.
If you'd like to be our 5th, the bidding starts at $1 million.
Oh, they got seat locations.
Well, no, I think it's just they're saying.
$1 million.
I'll give you $20.
And no.
19.
$18.
I'm
I'll
not
go
sure you
$18.
guys know how to negotiate. I'm not sure.
I could
go.
go
15 and I'll buy you a hot
Again,
dog.
The bidding starts at the $60 that the ticket costs.
I'll do $10. I'll buy the boys cotton candy.
No.
I'll get them ice cream.
No.
I'll get you ice cream.
Guys apparently don't understand the way the world works.
All right, fine. Just give it to me, and I'll get like a little banana plush toy for myself.
Now, wait a second. That sounds like a pretty good offer. I can't knock that. Oh, thank God. I was very stressed. I definitely remember them seeing like tickets for $25. All of a sudden, you get there, a little bit of rope-a-dope going on.
I mean,
there.
I'm telling
sounds like
you,
the Savannah Bananas think that Bubba Smith's in the Hall of Fame.
I'm telling you, $40 sounds like a steal. Like
I didn't get them for $40.
You got them for $50.
I tried to buy the $40 tickets; they were gone.
Oh.
I had to buy the $60 tickets.
Well,
$60.
but now you get to go see the Savannah Bananas.
Great. I've got that going for me.
I wonder if these are like plummet or something. That'd be cool if these plummet like the day of.
Yeah, I'm so sure. As you could tell, a lot of empties.
I don't think I'm
at
gonna.
the Savannah Banana
Yeah.
shows.
It was
As
full.
You could yes,
I
I'm
watched the
quite
ESPN
aware.
one, bro. It was full.
It is packed for all of these things.
I just don't think I can spend $600 on a Savannah Bananas ticket.
Well, we can talk.
Hmm.
I've got one. It is available again. You want to come with my family to the Savannah Bananas game?
We should set up like
tell me what the offer is.
We
I'm
should
not-
set up. No, what we should do we should set up like a GCR battle royale and everyone fights.
What am I getting out of that?
We watch
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this is worth. We line up. You want to do what was the thing the guy
Yeah,
did?
Dan Hooker.
Yeah, Dan Hooker. You want to do a
battle of the Kiwis?
yeah, something
Yep.
like that. God. All right. Got the tickets. That's the part that matters. I'm seeing Banana Ball. I got the email. You've
Whoa.
got your hands on something truly special. Real,
Wow.
certified, verified, authentic, 100% FDA-approved Banana Ball tickets. Landing these tickets is no easy feat, but the hard part is behind you. Exhale.
Imagine if they weren't FDA.
That's what she
Anything else
said.
we need to talk about sports-wise? Because we really haven't.
We said the Moo Man's back.
Yeah, Colton Cowser's back. Now we need to figure out if Colton Cowser can help. That's the part about,
I think he can.
with all respect,
When's Westbrook coming back?
the part about everybody obsessing over the injuries is like, yes, it's easy to say, and he finished second in Rookie of the Year voting. Right. Colton Cowser was part of the problem.
Oh, Freddie Gonzalez got hired by the
So
Braves.
Freddie Gonzalez is back in baseball. Colton Cowser's part of the problem, or was last year, and more part of the problem than he was part of the solution. And this isn't me going war on Colton Cowser, because there's plenty of time for him to change that. But we were fascinated by Colton Cowser for 6 weeks. He was exceptional for 6 weeks. Outside of those 6 weeks, he was a guy. And a guy kind of at best. The rookie class in the American League last year was so meh that he was in the conversation. I'm glad that I think Colton Cowser, it's one of the things, particularly if the season's going to be lost, you need to figure out which of these guys are really guys. So I'm glad Colton Cowser will be back to try to figure out if he can become the guy that we saw for 6 weeks last year. But the assumption that all of this would be different if Colton Cowser was here kind of spits in the face of, hey, we saw what happened in the second half of last year, and some of that had to do with Colton Cowser. I hope you get the best version of Colton Cowser as he returns. I hope that's the case. For not just this year, but for moving forward for the Orioles. We come back in. Preston Wilson is going to join us. Speaking of outfielders, this guy knows a thing or two about a thing or two, and he's got a new gig. He's the manager of the Frederick Keys in the MLB Draft League. He'll tell us all about that. That's next. It's Glenn Clark Radio. Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
What makes the Costas Inn so special? This is Stan the Fan telling you that it's the people that work for you, cooking and serving. But that menu is also special with a capital S. Soups, salads, the raw bar, pasta dishes, seafood specialties, and entrees like the Costas Combo, steaks, chops, ribs, amazingly delicious meatloaf, and all manner of delicious filling sandwiches, including pit beef and turkey and subs. Of course, the steamed crabs are as good as you can get anywhere, and they serve them 12 months a year. The crab cakes are out of this world. Costas is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner at 4100 North Point Boulevard, and coming soon, very soon, Costas in Timonium at the OTB Parlor at Timonium Racecourse. We'll get you the opening date real soon.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4, available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now, and on the cover, Luke Jackson looks at the long road back from Tommy John surgery for Orioles closer Felix Bautista, as well as Kyle Bradish and Tyler Wells. Also inside, we learn more about new Maryland basketball coach Buzz Williams from the players who have played for him at other stops. Plus, evaluators around baseball chime in on Orioles' top prospect Samuel Basayo. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Need a trophy or award that's as unique as the achievement? Look no further than Crown Trophy. With locations in Owings Mills and Gaithersburg, they specialize in custom trophies, plaques, and medals for any occasion. From sports and academic awards to employee recognition and corporate gifts, visit crowntrophy.com today and let them help you create a lasting memory for your school, team, or business. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association. crowntrophy.com.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way. Glenn Clark.
All right, back in here on GCRs. Continue along on a Tuesday edition of the program. A little bit of a weight off the shoulders. Your boy got the Savannah Banana tickets, so his family will not disown him, which is good. I got a little bit of fuzz in my headphones. Is that Is that just me? Is that a headphone issue? Is that a
1, 2? Yeah, no, I think it's just
me, huh?
To try, maybe try like
Nah,
because I moved that while I was
gonna
like,
mess with it.
I was like
I'm
rotating
not,
the.
I don't want to make it worse. This is the problem.
I think we can make
listen
it better.
to me.
See, I'm in the business of making things better.
Since when?
Right now.
When did that start? God, I don't believe you. Anyway, what are we doing? Oh, yeah. Hi. Glenn Clark Radio. Today's show also brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. If you missed it, Stan the Fan Charles, Ross Grimsley, and former Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations for the Baltimore Orioles, Dan Duquette, got together yesterday to talk a little baseball. If you missed that, you can find it, facebook.com/PressBoxSports, youtube.com/PressBoxOnline, or PressBoxOnline.com/video. As always, Stan's shows are brought to you by our friends at the Costas Inn, and great news, as just yesterday, officially, the brand new Costas Inn in Timonium is now open at the racetrack for you to check out. You can get all of your Costas Inn favorites like crab cakes and crab soup. Check out the brand new Costas Inn at the racetrack in Timonium. I can't wait to get over there myself this week. Let's talk a little baseball this morning. And I used to have some regular conversations with our next guest when he was in the media portion of his career. He's now gone from player to media to management, as he is going to be the manager of the Frederick Keys in the MLB Draft League. It's a pleasure to welcome in a World Series champ, former MLB outfielder, Mr. Preston Wilson is back with us here on GCR. Preston, it's Glenn Clark. It's great to chat with you. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning, and congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen this year. You know, these young guys are excited to go, and so am I.
Preston, could you take me through, this is an interesting way to get back at, someone as accomplished as you were as a player and all the success you had in media. When was this something that you said, yeah, maybe I'll go manage in the draft league? Maybe that'll be the next step.
It has come up a couple of years ago, but I just had so many other things going on that I couldn't do it. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and this year the timing is right. Just worked out perfectly, and I got here. I saw the place where I'm at in Frederick. I love the place here. I got to meet some of the kids. They're great so far. I love my coaching staff. We got a really diverse coaching staff with Jimmy Nelson, pitcher who used to pitch for the Brewers, Dodgers. We got Tony Diaz, who's been around for a while with the Twins. White Sox, he's been coaching in the major leagues, been in the minor leagues. So we got a good array of knowledge for these guys to share with them, and I know they're going to get better under us.
Was this was managing in general or coaching, was this something that was always interesting to you, or did you need to get to a certain point in your life, or was there something that made you interested in doing something like this?
I've always been interested in it because I've always been interested in the game. I love the game, and I love not just how it's played, but why things happen, why they're supposed to happen, the chess match that goes on, but more than anything, helping kids get better. Seeing a guy learn something and not making the same mistakes over and over again, those are big, big things. And, that's part of what I hope to accomplish here, help these kids learn who they are as ball players.
Is this like a hobby? Like, hey, it's the draft league, I can sort of do this? Or is this something where you'd say, yeah, I'd kind of like to go from this and maybe get to affiliated ball or back to the big leagues in the coming years?
This is definitely something I'd like to continue. I'd like to get to affiliated ball, coach or manage with an organization because I love teaching and I love the parts about the game that you have to want to do, like the base running, the outfield, learning the particulars about pitchers, not just what they're throwing, but how they think. All those things are important, and those things make you a better ball player.
What is it about, was there someone, you played obviously for a lot of teams, you had a lot of different, were there, and we always, of course, think of your dad as well when we have this conversation, but who were these guys for you? Who were the people that had the biggest impact on you as far as coaches or managers were concerned?
There were a lot of guys, man. Believe it or not, there are going to be guys you may have never heard the name of.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Rusty Kuntz who was a longtime first base coach with Kansas City. Just a great outfield instructor. He was amazing at picking up things and stealing bases. I had a minor league coach named Rich Miller, who I don't think he ever made it to the major leagues, but he's one of the best coaches I've ever been around in my life. He just absolutely never got bored with the things the small parts of the game. He never got bored with making sure you knew where you were playing, making sure you understood the batters, making sure you knew your position, making sure you knew what these pitchers were doing, if they had any habits. He never got bored with the small stuff. And those are the things that make players really sometimes outplay their abilities.
Is there something interesting or unique to you about it being the draft league? Like that these are guys that literally like nothing is promised to them. Like that maybe I think a lot of people talk about how the roles of managers have changed in like Major League Baseball at this point in 20. And that's a lengthy conversation that we could probably have. But do you feel like this is something unique about this where like they might be more apt to listen to what it is that you have to share with them?
Well, I think they can look around and look on the internet and see that we have the credentials to help them. I think part of that is a big part of we have been where they're trying to go. I've been where they're trying to go. I've done all the things that they're trying to hopefully accomplish. Made it to the World Series. I was a first-round draft pick. I made an all-star team. I've done all those things. So I think anything there's instant credibility. Now I have to maintain that trust. I have to show them I'm always on their side. I have to show them that I have their back and that I want them to learn, and I'm going to try to find every possible way to help them get better. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to call somebody that knows the answer.
I love the sounds of that, right? And I certainly think that given your credentials, you're the perfect person for a role like this. He's Preston Wilson. He's with us here on GCR, now the manager of the Frederick Keys. Preston, I asked this, you said you got there and you checked out Frederick, and Frederick's always been a great baseball town. But, given all of the success you have, the thought of riding the bus again, is that a romantic thing for you where you're like, this is great? Or do you find yourself sort of saying I don't know, man?
No, look at it like this. It's still baseball.
Yeah.
It's still baseball. It's still baseball, and it comes along with it. I mean, we're going to spend a few hours on the bus here and there, but so what? We get to the field, and if you love baseball the way I love baseball, those few hours on the bus aren't going to matter because once you get to the baseball field, it's all worth it.
I love that, right? And that's the game. It never leaves you, does it?
No. I mean, you may get mad at it a little bit. It may get mad at you a little bit, but it doesn't go. It's something that it's a love of your life. It really is.
Preston, what do you feel like you need to learn from this experience, right? Like being a manager. What as you say, this is something that you'd like to continue doing. What do you need to learn dipping your toes into these waters for the first time?
I need to learn how to listen to these players, understand what they need from me, and I need to understand how to get them what they need. Because it's not about me, it's about helping them get better. And if I help these kids get better, it's going to help me as far as my career, but the objective is to help them. It's not about helping me, it's about helping them become the best baseball player that they can. And number one in that process is learning who they are. Sometimes we have this misconception of who we are as a player in our head, but the game tells us who we are. So we need to really respect what we see as far as what our output is, what we're actually accomplishing, because that's who we are as a player, not who we think we are as a player.
Did I see that Royce Clayton's son is on the roster?
He's not on my roster.
Okay.
I actually have Benny Agbayani's son.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's pretty cool, right?
I got Benny Agbayani's son. Actually, Tony Diaz, one of our coaches, his son is going to be with us. He's a big kid, man.
That's
outfielder,
awesome, man.
Probably about 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. Big kid.
I totally just realized this could be last year's roster that I was looking at in front of me, so I apologize. But
I think it is. Yeah.
But that's really neat. Can I bring the you mentioned obviously the role of the manager, and I as you would imagine in Baltimore right now, that conversation is kind of loud, right? Because they just made a managerial change. What should a baseball manager be in 2025, Preston? We know analytics are a part of the game now. We're not hiding from the data. It's not going to happen that way. But what should this look like for a manager in 2025? The relationship between, hey, the front office is giving you the data, and this is still how you can be impactful. What should that be?
I mean, I think first you have to be able to fit the vision of the front office, because that's where it's coming from. I would love to say that it's you need to do whatever the players need, but the front office has a vision, and they put you in that position to be the manager. And if we're really speaking honestly about it, it's about translating the vision of the front office onto the field as far as the output of the players. And I think that's what a manager has to be. I mean, I think we have to let go of the notion of what the managers used to be of in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Those managers, that role doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
analytics has played a bigger part in the game, and we have to evolve with that because, that's what the front office wants. And we're going to have to be able to adapt, let some of our own personal feelings go. If you are of the old school mode that, you don't value analytics, I do think there's a huge place for analytics in the game, and we have to honor that. But I also think, the front office also understands that there is a feel to the game. There's a pulse to the game that when it comes down to certain moves or certain things, in the regular season, yeah, you can play analytics baseball all the time. But when it comes down to the postseason, we saw in the World Series a few years ago with the Dodgers that there were some moves that Doc Roberts made that he did not make in the subsequent trips to the World Series because he realized, the Dodgers themselves realized that those moves were not good moves in the World Series because there is no next week, there is no next road trip, there is no next series. You have to play to win today. So I think, there is a relationship in there with analytics and having your thumb on the pulse of the game today. And I think, the manager of today has to understand that, and the front office, I think they know that as well.
Would you, if you were in, would you be able to manage somewhere where the front office said, hey, we make the decisions. Like, we're going to give you the data. Like, we're basically going to set the lineups. You can post the lineup card. Would that be something that you'd be able to do? Or, does a manager need to have a little bit more autonomy in those situations?
I mean, I would be able to do it, and I'm not smart enough to know if the manager would need to have more autonomy.
Yeah.
I think the game would have to bear that out, but the fact of the matter is that's not the situation.
Yeah.
We have a situation where there's a lot of times where the front office makes the moves, and we have to live with that. Now, if you want to sign up for that, you have to live with that. And I could sign up for that because I do believe there's other roles that come with being a manager that are not just writing up the lineup. Like, you're a psychologist in that locker room. You're trying to figure out how to help each guy keep going back out there every day, whether they're having good days or bad days. You're a psychologist with your pitching staff. You have to understand, how to help those guys deal with failure as well as success. I think people overlook dealing with success is something too, because you have to make sure that person doesn't start to change and doesn't morph into something that's not who he usually is.
Frederick Keys open up the season this week, and you can check out the Keys starting tomorrow night at home out in Frederick, and we are going to get their schedule linked up on our Twitter account at Glenn Clark Radio for you to get out and see them. Just another minute or two here with Preston Wilson on GCR. Preston, I want to ask you about two guys. One, I'm certain you were teammates with. The other one, I'm doing this game. You absolutely were teammates with Skip Schumacher in St. Louis, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And I know this was some time ago, right? And he was a young player at that point. But
right.
did you see anything then, or as he went along, like what you learned, why he would be a really good manager? Did you see any of that already when he was that young in his career?
Well, I mean, when it's a young guy like that, you can definitely see that he was a guy that was definitely focused, and he maximized his talent. He wasn't a guy that, he wasn't a guy that was going to be your top of the roster guy. But he also could go out there and he's never going to lose the game for you. He wasn't going to make a dumb mistake. He wasn't going to hurt you. And I think that's something that was important, and it showed that he had the mental aptitude to be able to retain information. And not just retain information, but also be able to use it in a positive way. So, there were definitely signs of him being able to be a good manager out of that. And when I was down in Miami, seeing him do the job, but I was very pleased with what I saw. It's a shame it ended the way that it did, but I think Skip would be a great fit for any organization.
I was going to ask that, how, knowing what you know about the Marlins organization, obviously, given the time that you spent there, how impressed were you by what he was able to do, given maybe some of the restraints that perhaps you deal with in Miami that maybe are a little bit unique or different than other places?
Well, I think you had two things. You had Skip's personality, and you also had the remnants of the players that Derek Jeter drafted, or that were drafted under his spearhead. So I think you have to remember, there was some better pieces in place at the beginning than towards at the end. But Skip has definitely done an amazing job. I think Skip is one of those guys that players gravitate to. I think he's one of those guys that's very even-handed. I think he's fair. I think he's done a phenomenal job of making sure that the team is, all rowing in one direction. I think he'd be a good fit anywhere. Now, I was definitely pleased with seeing how he handled, sometimes having to deal with less or or getting less help than he probably should have over there in Miami.
And then I wanted to ask you, like, I don't think you were ever teammates with, but baseball's a weird play. Like, everybody seems to know everybody. Can you confirm you were never teammates with John Mabry, correct?
I was teammates with John Mabry.
You were?
Yes, I was with the Marlins.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So, like, this is one because he just kind of moved into this consultant role with the Orioles, and a lot of people have pointed out, like, this seems a little bit different, right? Like, he's not necessarily like an analytics guy. What you know about John, what do you feel like he can bring in a coaching role?
Well, John brings a real life touch to things. You know, John was a guy who, you know, he knew his role and he did it well. You know, when I played with him with the Marlins, he was pinch hitter. You know, he studied the pitchers. He always gave you a good at bat. He understood what he needed to do. And I think sometimes you need guys like that. You know, sometimes your coaches aren't always your all-star players or your your Hall of Fame type players. Sometimes you need guys that can teach guys, hey, you need to do this to be who you need to be every day. You need to bring this every day. This is how you need to prepare yourself for this role. And honestly, a guy who was a starter his whole career can't tell a guy how to prepare for that role unless he's had extensive contact with someone who has played that role in their lives. You know, so I think having a good mixture of guys like a John Mabry around your ball club is a phenomenal thing because you need different perspectives. I
love that, man. I love the sounds of it. Now I got to do the math. Were you teammates with Matt Holliday, or did that math not work?
I was teammates with Matt Holliday.
Did you ever
in Colorado? Yes.
Did you ever get to throw batting practice to Jackson Holliday when he was a kid?
I never got to throw the batting practice to Jackson Holliday, but I did do one thing. I gave his dad the model bat that really boosted his career.
So that's pretty cool.
When I was in Colorado, I gave him one of my bats, and he took that model, and he never looked back.
Look at that. I mean, it worked out all right for him, obviously.
Yeah.
It worked out all right. Preston, last one for you. The time that you spent as an analyst, right? What did you take from that uniquely that you're going to carry over now to your role on the field as a manager?
I took that the game is a whole lot easier when you're looking at it on TV. That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
It's easy to sit up there in that booth and say, all you got to do is this, or if he should have just done that. But you have to remember, these kids are kids out of high school and college. These kids are facing the challenge of playing baseball on an everyday basis for the first time. You got to remember, these kids are coming from a 2 or 3 game a week schedule. You know, pro ball is not like that. This is every day. You don't get 2 or 3 days to fix a swing. You don't get 2 or 3 days to work on this pitch that you maybe didn't get right the last time you were out on the mound. You know, and the same thing for me. I gotta if I get out managed or if I make a move that's stupid, I gotta make sure I don't do that the very next day. I gotta see that. I gotta study that. I gotta see how the game rolls out to make sure that I'm putting my guys in the best situation to win and succeed.
I love it, man. Preston Wilson, we can't wait to get out and see you guys in Frederick as the season gets underway, and really looking forward to seeing where this takes you. You're damn good as an analyst, and obviously a damn good baseball player. So I have no doubt that all of that experience is going to make you a hell of a manager as well. Preston, thank you so much for taking the time for us this morning, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. See you guys soon.
Preston Wilson, now the manager of the Frederick Keys, of course, All-Star and World Series champion during his baseball career, and looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring. Hour number 1 of today's show is in the books. We got some studs coming in studio with us next. Today's show brought to you by this print issue of Press Box, which is still available for free at your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Press Box. You can read it all. PressBoxOnline.com, the hard road back, the cover story from Luke Jackson. Matt Rambo, Rob Pannell, the Maryland Whipsnakes joining us in studio here in the second hour. Looking forward to chatting it up with the guys next on GCR.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at DriveEasyMD.com.
Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses make golf fun and affordable. All 5 local courses, Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Carroll Park, and Clifton Park, are challenging and fun for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time today at classic5golf.com.
Celebrate 60 years of America's favorite muscle car at Live Casino and win a new Ford Mustang. Earn entries daily and enjoy revved-up specials across our restaurants and bars all June. Cruise in Saturday, June 28th and be one of 25 players to win cool trips, hot prizes, or a new Ford Mustang. Hit the gas at Live Casino at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now, and on the cover, Luke Jackson looks at the long road back from Tommy John surgery for Orioles closer Felix Bautista, as well as Kyle Bradish and Tyler Wells. Also inside, we learn more about new Maryland basketball coach Buzz Williams from the players who have played for him at other stops. Plus, evaluators around baseball chime in on Orioles' top prospect Samuel Basayo. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
Back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Tuesday edition of the program. Really excited about this. As joining us in studio this morning, one of these guys I've known for a long time and has been a regular with us over the years, and the other one I'm meeting for the first time and, you know, is like one of the biggest stars in the history of the sport. Maryland Whipsnakes stars Matt Rambo and Rob Pannell are in studio with us this morning here on GCR. Matt, I'm going to start with you because, no offense, Rob, Matt's been my guy for a long time. I love this dude. It's great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me on.
What the hell happened on Saturday? What are we going to do about that?
We just didn't finish the ball.
Dude, you guys got – what the hell happened to the offense?
No. We had our opportunities. We just have to finish, and that was a theme from last year.
Just blame the rain.
And, it was the rain.
He can blame me.
It was the rain.
He can blame me.
But other than that, the feeding, our defense was locked in. I really liked our possessions, our face-off. Everything was great. We just have to click a little bit more on shooting, and I think we're in a really good position. And I think after that game, watching the film and talking to coaches, at first I was like, damn, we might get screamed at. But Coach Stagnita was really positive about everything. And if we can get that one little piece down of finishing it, the outcome of that game would be a lot different.
To your point, Nardell is insane, isn't he?
No,
he's nuts, man.
It's great because he wins the face-off. A lot of guys will run off the field or, they don't want to play defense. He plays indoor. He's great at defense, and he's great at offense, carrying the ball. He's like an offensive guy. So having him on their team is insane. Like you said, it's such a powerful part for our team, and he's such a good leader too.
I'm going to bring this guy in, but I want you to tell me, right? Like, you find out that Rob Pannell, you guys already had a hell of a team.
Right.
You made the run to the championship game a year ago.
Yeah.
That rookie class from last year might be the greatest rookie class in the history of sports.
Yeah.
When you find out that Rob Pannell is joining your group, what's your reaction like?
I was fired up. He was one of the first. I think I was one of the first guys that found out, and I was fired up. I played with Rob with Team USA. He's been a good friend of mine throughout my whole pro career, and just watching him over the years since I was little or in college, and just, he's someone that I was looking up to, and now I get to be on his team again, just like USA, where we won a gold together. It's something special, and we already have that chemistry down, and it was just great news. And Maybe it'll take some off of TJ's and my plate too. Right.
Rob Pannell, it's great to have you in studio, man. Really, we actually haven't even met before, and I've called games with USA Lacrosse that have involved you. It's really good to have you here. Tell me about making this decision at this point in your career, at this point in your life, right? Like, it's weird because, like, in pro lacrosse, we haven't seen obviously we're seeing one this week that I know we're going to have to talk about in a second, and maybe a certain brother that didn't do a good enough recruiting job this week.
Yeah.
But, like, you have this opportunity to go wherever you want. What went into this decision, and why did you want to join the Whipsnakes at this point in your life?
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me. It's great for Matt and I to be here. You know, free agency is interesting in pro lacrosse because it's got to be something you really want to do. It's not really so much a financial decision. You're not signing all of a sudden a huge contract that's changing to what you previously have. For me, you know, being the team that was prior California Redwoods, if I didn't make a change, I didn't feel like anything was going to change with that team. I just wasn't sure it was going to change. Shouldn't say that it wasn't, just in my time frame, which was, you know, I don't have many years left. And
he's talking like he's 60.
35 is old in professional sports, right?
I get it.
So, you know, I was just kind of looking at some other teams out there, and I wanted to make a change. Just I needed it personally, and I wanted to go to a team that I knew had an already established culture with great leadership. Knowing a guy like Matt, we're very close, and Matt makes it easy for anybody to come onto a team. He's one of the most welcoming and warming people that I know, and he's just so easy to be on the team with, and he's becoming a great leader in his own right. So having conversations with him and then Coach Stagnita, I knew that the Whipsnakes had a history of being great and being in that championship game, coming just off a championship loss, and you know, as someone I thought I could come in and help. I know I'm not the 25-year-old I used to be out there, but
it's really fascinating to hear you say that. Because I don't want to offend you, but I asked that question of Coach Staggs last week. I said, "Is Rob Pannell still Rob Pannell?" And I don't want to say this in an offensive way, but what you just said is interesting to me, because I would tell you that, like, I'm very much a person. I'm very pragmatic. I know exactly who I am and exactly who I'm not. Right? Like when I find out that like Joe Beninati got a job, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, he's really good. Like I can understand why maybe they choose him over me, right? But like I'm just pragmatic that way. A lot of athletes like have to live with I'm always the best version of myself. Famously, years ago, I had Joe Flacco out for an event when he was with the Ravens, and I said, hey, Joe, do you think you're a top 5 quarterback in football? And he said, I think I'm the best quarterback in football. Like, why wouldn't I? Where are you on the, like, I'm willing, I can look at myself and maybe see that I'm a different place versus, no, I've always got to assume that I'm the best version of myself if I'm going to continue to do this.
It's a great point. You have to be confident in your abilities, but I do think you have to adjust your game based off of your physical capabilities.
Okay.
You know, I know I was a lot faster and quicker at one point in my career than I am now, but I know maybe I have a higher IQ now. I know maybe what's needed of me on the Whipsnakes is a different role. How can I adjust that role? How can I be better? You know, I'm my toughest critic always, but I do have to be honest with myself. You know, I'm not going to tell myself that I'm the best. I need to keep myself on a level playing field so that I'm out there. You know, we're getting shots up this morning
right,
because we didn't shoot well this weekend. And we would have been shooting anyway, but we made it a point that we needed, before we came here, we were out on a field, found a random high school in Maryland, and we were out there, the two of us, just ripping shots because I shot 1 for 9 this
Did you, like, let the high school know that you were coming,
No,
or did you literally just show up?
We were happy security didn't come out. We just were out there.
I'm just imagining, like, a lacrosse coach walking out like, hey, guy, wait a second.
Yeah, I won't say the name of the high school on air.
Hammond High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Hammond.
Yeah.
I imagine they'd be pretty fired up if they found out you guys were out there.
No security came out or anything, so we got our shots.
Somebody's finding out right now, like, holy crap, Matt Rambo and Rob Pannell were shooting on our field.
Hey, look at the security footage.
Yeah, seriously.
That's dope, though. I appreciate that perspective. Yeah. And that, like, do you find yourself, have you adapted your game that way? Like, have you found yourself saying, hey, maybe there's times where I would have gone to Dodge and I would have taken on, like, all comers that perhaps I recognize now that's not what I should be doing at this point?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, I look at TJ Malone. He's had a great rookie year, 3 goals in the first game this year.
Yep.
And to your first question, kind of why I wanted to make a move was, you know, I didn't so much want to be the guy anymore. You know, 13 seasons in, Matt knows the same feeling. It's like when you're showing up to every game since the start of your career, you have the number one defenseman. You're expected to perform at a certain level. You know, it's a lot of pressure. Not that I don't love that pressure. It's a privilege to have, and we embrace it. But to be around younger guys that are going to be that next guy, to let them, you know, to feel like maybe you don't have to have the best game and the team can still win. So that's kind of was part of my decision, knowing that the Whipsnakes have a good young crew, and we got some veteran guys as well, and it's just a good mix of guys. So just excited to be on the team. I know it was a tough first game, and I owned a little bit of that myself with my shooting performance, but I do know that we'll be better.
All right, Matt, I'm going to ask you the question. Is Rob Pannell still Rob Pannell?
Rob is still Rob.
Yeah, all right.
He draws a slide every time he gets the ball. His feeding ability is great. He just doesn't have to dodge 25 times a game anymore, where he can dodge 10 or 15 times, keep his legs fresh, because we got TJ Malone, we got Levi Anderson, we got Potts, we got all the Brandow, we got Brad Smith back, which is a beast. So when you have a powerful offensive unit that can dodge, now our roles are changed a little bit, where we've been ball carriers our whole life. Now we got to play that off-ball role, which we got to adapt to, because I have to adapt to it as well. It's new to me, but it's good. You know, when we still get the ball, we know we're drawing a slide, and we know other teams are still going to respect us, what we have done. So, yeah, it's exciting, and it's exciting to see the young guys have really big games. Like when Aiden Carroll scored this weekend, I haven't been more fired up for some of the score in a long time. So I really got the juices going. I wish we just kept that juice going and finished like he did. But, yeah, we're expecting to, keep this thing rolling and keep this offense rolling, and we'll shoot better next game.
It sounds like you're giving like the team. There's not going to be another 7-goal output. Again, it'll never happen again.
No.
For the Maryland Whipsnakes.
No.
It'll never happen again.
No.
Yeah, if we do.
Rob Pannell, Matt Rambo in studio with us. All right, I want to do the Mutual Admiration Society. They got some fun stuff I want to do with you guys too, but I want to do the Mutual Admiration Society. Matt is one of the best characters in all of lacrosse, right?
He is.
Like, he is every kid's favorite player.
My favorite player.
And everyone like me who, didn't really care about their physical condition at a certain time in my life, it's who we've aspired to be.
Hell yeah.
What is it that you've learned about Matt, to the point, from your time in the national team together, now being teammates, that makes him so uniquely special to this game?
He's just such a pleasure to be around. He lightens the mood and just relaxes everybody on the team by just being there. Nothing, I forget what he does on the field, and he's one of the most clutch players our sport's ever seen. If you look at the games that he's won and the plays that he's made, that's something that you can't teach, and Matt has that to make the play and to be the guy in big time moments. But aside from that, he's just you don't really ever see him angry, and that's so important, because there's so many things going on throughout a game where he'll look at me and like he'll calm me down, because I'm so competitive and I'm so into it. And if I'm not shooting well, if something's going wrong, you just look at him and he'll be smiling, or he'll have something to say that's completely irrelevant and just changes the vibe. And it's so important at certain times. So you see what he does as a lacrosse player, but you don't see what he does as a teammate, and how he's always supporting guys. He's there. He's excited. He's saying these little things that are keeping you thinking, I got to keep moving forward, rather than thinking about what just happened. And that's why he's just so great to be around from a team perspective.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Matt, where did that disposition come from for you? Because I've never seen you be angry either, right? Like,
I get angry at myself, but, as you get older, you can't go back and you can't change a play. And if you're going to dwell on that moment, you're just going to be in your head the whole time. You just got to keep moving forward. And I think that just happened towards the Whipsnakes when I just, was the guy, and, everyone's looking at you a lot of the times. And if you mess up a play, if, these young guys, stay in their head, you just got to just keep moving forward, get the next one. You're going to get another opportunity, and just got to keep going. Obviously, there's time to be angry, and there's time, but I think keeping your composure and, you got to just stay confident the whole time. I think having confidence on the field sometimes is better than physical condition and shooting 100 times a day, where you see some of the guys in our sport are the biggest guys, the strongest guys, the fastest guys in the world, but if they're not confident in shooting, then they're not going to shoot well. When you got a guy that's maybe it's okay if you miss a couple shots. Like if I know Rob went 1 for whatever to this weekend, I went 0 for 3, and guess what? The next time I get the ball, I think I'm scoring.
Right.
And the next time I do it again, I'm going to think I'm going to score. But there's other guys in the league or a team or young guys that will miss it, and now they're going to be double clutching and thinking about that last shot where you can't go back and change that.
You've always been to me like the prototypical like shooter. Like that's the way this is going to go.
Yeah.
This is what I'm here to do. This is, now what they pay me for. When it was obviously in college, it was this is my job is to shoot the ball. And whatever happens, I'm just going to keep shooting the ball because we can't score if I don't, right? Like that's the way that this game works.
Right, like we have tennis on behind us. You see some of those best tennis players, like when they mess up a shot, some of the younger guys are slamming their stick.
Dude.
You can see the frustration, but then you see the greats, they mess up a shot, they're calm, cool. Or look at Scotty Scheffler, he's the best. You never see him get excited when when he makes a great shot or when he misses a shot. He's like, all right, I'll just get the next one. You gotta keep moving forward.
We see you get excited though sometimes.
Oh yeah,
like,
I get
we do
excited.
See you get excited.
Yeah, I get excited,
like,
but yeah, 100%. You got to keep the vibes going. You got to keep that good energy, because I think that's contagious.
I love it, man. I love it. Rob Pannell, Matt Rambo in studio with us. The Maryland Whipsnakes. We are just a couple of weeks away from homecoming weekend at Homewood Field, June 21st and June 22nd. They will be playing in the night game on Saturday, the 21st, and then the second game on Sunday afternoon, the 22nd. You can go to premierlacrosseleague.com in order to get your tickets for homecoming weekend. And I would encourage you to do that because if you've ever been there for Whipsnakes homecoming weekend, you know that the tickets might not be available when you go to show up. Matt, obviously, Rob, you've experienced it from the other side. This will be your first time doing this, and it's not to say there aren't other, I know you're a Long Island guy. Like, it's not to say there aren't other great places, but the atmosphere at Homewood Field when you guys come through for the weekend, it's bat-ass. Like, it's utterly and completely insane. How excited are you about your first Maryland Whipsnakes homecoming weekend?
I'm excited. I mean, I'm not sure if Field has as much history and tradition and, in one of the meccas of lacrosse in Baltimore.
I still think it's awkward for Matt to say nice things about Homewood Field.
Yeah,
I still think it's uncomfortable.
He's got his name for it.
We call it Birdwood.
No, it's great. And, listen, I am from Long Island, so obviously I do think Long Island is one of the best places you can play lacrosse. But the Long Island fans don't come out to Hofstra when we play there, or Stony Brook. When we come to Maryland, when we play at Johns Hopkins, this stadium is packed. Yep. I mean, as players, they're like, we can only give you so many tickets because, like, we don't have them. They're not there. It's sold out.
And sometimes on, like, the hottest weekend of the year. Unlike you. Dude,
crazy.
Last year was one of the most difficult. Like, just stand. You guys are playing lacrosse. I'm like, I don't know how you're doing this right now because standing is difficult for me in this
We were,
moment.
like, burning holes through our socks and all black uniforms. Right? But you get the juices from all the fans. It's the perfect size venue for PLL lacrosse, too. It's not too big. They sell out. You got standing room. The fans just go crazy, especially when before we were in the Maryland Whipsnakes, we were packing out with Whipsnakes fan. Now we're Maryland Whipsnakes, and we still now it's the roars are different than other stadiums. That's what I appreciate.
It's so cool, man. Like the first time you guys came here, again before it was the Maryland Whipsnakes, I think like a lot of people were like, I wonder how this is gonna work. Like I wonder if people. And then you show up the first time and you just see all of the kids there, and you're like, dude, oh man. This is everything it's supposed to be.
We were talking to some of the marketing guys yesterday about just like the atmosphere of the stadium, the atmosphere of being at a pro lacrosse game. And they're like, we never been to a pro lacrosse game. And they're like, after we went there, we were hooked. Like, we want to go to the games because it's so much better than watching it on TV because it's like a party. It's fun. It's fast-paced. It's scoring. It's hitting. It's just a good time. And the games aren't 3 hours long like a college lacrosse game where there's 4 15-minute stop-go periods. It's quicker, and they keep it moving.
The shot clock, like you forget, because I do so many college games during the course of the year, and then I forget like the shot clock change when you get to the pro game, and like, holy, like you gotta go, man.
Yeah. The field
Especially
dynamics is great. The tighter field in the middle, the 2-point arc. It's just an exciting product that we're putting on.
It's awesome. It's incredibly awesome. The most important hard-hitting journalism question I have is, what was your guys' bet on the championship game, and has it been paid off yet?
Rob was scared to bet. I didn't know if he had all the confidence. Yeah, we were talking about it, but I was proud for the Terps to be there. I think that Cornell team was kind of like our 2017 Maryland team. They haven't won since '77. We didn't win since '72. They had that team together for a long time, kind of like we had that team together. It was, obviously I was really sad that Maryland lost and pissed off, but at the same time, I'd rather Cornell win than like a Syracuse or a Penn State or something like that. And Coach Tillman went to Cornell, and you got a lot of respect, especially what they did this year. Like that team was fun to watch, especially throughout the whole year. But a couple mistakes that Maryland did, it might be a whole different game going in that fourth quarter. So I'm happy that Coach Tillman made it. He makes it to the Final Four. He makes the season so great for them. And I was proud of the Terps. I wish they got it done, but kudos to Cornell.
It would be a lot tougher if you guys hadn't won. Like if the drought was still going on, it'd be way more difficult to deal with. Like, so I brought that up to somebody recently. Like, what do you make of like John's record on Memorial Day? And they're like, yeah, the two are really important. Like the two, that's the number that matters the most when you look at that record. Is got the two.
And then you like look back at like last year Notre Dame when they played them, and
really
like,
they had no business of being
it's like
there,
they weren't
right?
even ranked going into there, and they made it through it. So it's like sometimes when I was a sophomore. We lost to Denver. We didn't have business being there. We weren't really ranked. We might have been like 8th or 7th seed and going in there with like no home field advantage. So, the one that really hurts the most is 2016 versus UNC, but I'm happy we got it done.
You don't have to think about that
Yeah,
anymore,
exactly.
Right? Rob, can you put into words, what it meant? First of all, you really weren't willing to make a bet? Like, you really...
He's joking with you. Honestly, I think the morning got away from us. We had practice. And it was like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock to 12:30. The game started at 1. We didn't really even talk about it. Next thing you know, we're in the stadium at Albany, and it's on the inside, and it's on the screen. The game already started. I don't know what we would have done. Maybe I would have made him wear a CJ Kirsch jersey or something.
That makes sense. Yeah, that would make sense. What did it mean to you? Someone so associated with that program.
Sure.
And I know it's... in a way, and look, a lot of the guys that have played at Maryland told me this when that team broke through. Like, it felt like we were winning because of everything that we had been through over the years. What did it mean to you and to everybody connected with the program?
It meant everything. I was tearing up in an Albany dorm room, and just to know the sacrifice that so many people have made, some given their life, a guy like George Boyardi, and I think it really put the lacrosse world on notice on how special the Cornell lacrosse family is, and from the alumni that played and won championships in the 70s to the guys in the current team, we're all very close. Even the weeks leading up to it, playing on Long Island in the quarterfinals, and the alumni that were there, and it's just a really special group. And I think what's cool about the Cornell Maryland game is one of the common denominators is Coach Richie Moran, who played at Maryland, coached Cornell, had a great relationship with Coach Tillman, was around the Cornell program till he passed away. And that's why I think the two programs are so similar in their alumni and the way they go about things, and it's why we have such respect for one another. I just know Cornell lacrosse, we've had, losing in 2022 to Maryland, 2009, I was on that team, being in the Final Four a few times. It's just been in the late 80s, losing in championships. It's just been such a long time coming, and we're so proud of our program and people who come through it and what we stand for. Finally, we have this moment to where we're now, national championships and the trophies back in it.
But it doesn't change the fact that Maryland's obviously the predominant program in all of college lacrosse.
I mean, that's a true statement.
One team that's always there. Go ahead and plan it. Just go ahead and prepare to be in Charlottesville next year because you just know they're going to be there. That's the way that it works. Can you speak to? You bring up he's back there again, right? That thing where he never loses. I think he lost the one time, and there was controversy on it in the quarterfinal round.
Why? Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh
Why? Why? Why is it
he preps so good? He watches film. We're so prepared for that game. We know what they're gonna do. He's just so great, especially when it's at Navy too. We get that. That crowd there, it should be at Navy every year. I think the quarters.
It is an amazing location.
It's such a great venue.
I think everybody in the sport would like the championship game to be there too, but they got to do graduation. Like
it's not important. No.
Yeah, right. What are we doing?
Yeah, push.
What
that
are we doing?
graduation
Yeah,
back.
work around our schedule, please.
Hofstra's good for the quarters too. But yeah, he just preps so hard. He just, Coach Tillman really loves lacrosse, and he doesn't want he doesn't want to let the guys down. When we win, it's because of the guys. When we lose, it's because of him, and that's how he takes it to heart. And that's what, and we don't agree with that, because obviously when we lose, the players are like, that's on us too. But he really takes full responsibility for it, and he's such a great coach, mentor, such a good guy off the field too. He's the best. You text him now, he'll answer my text message in a couple minutes, and that's just the guy he is. But he does prep you guys for that quarterfinal game, and he wants, it to be special with every class, especially that senior class, and make it to the Final Four weekend and give them a chance.
We're going to do some rapid fire stuff when we come back in. Some if you could change any one thing about the game of lacrosse, that type of stuff. We're going to do a little bit of that. Also, Griffin, my producer, would like to start a new cheer for Whipsnakes games, and we're going to see how you feel about it. Don't do it yet. We're going to see how you feel about it, because he thinks that he should be hired to come out and lead the fan area. At the
Who do I talk to?
So we're gonna do that.
You gotta talk to Coach Stagnita.
Yeah, right. We've actually run it by him a couple times, and I would say lukewarm is the response.
So I need your help.
I would say it's not a no is the way that I would best describe it, but we're not there yet, I don't think. So we're gonna do that. Rob Pannell, Matt Rambo of the Maryland Whipsnakes are in studio with us. It is a Tuesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. This August, the PGA Tour's best are coming to Maryland. The 2025 BMW Championship tees off August 12th through 17th at Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills. See the top 50 players battle it out in the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Don't miss your chance to witness world-class golf, fan experiences, and unforgettable moments. Tickets are on sale now at bmwchampionship.com. The BMW Championship, where legends take the lead.
Celebrate 60 years of America's favorite muscle car at Live Casino and win a new Ford Mustang. Earn entries daily and enjoy revved-up specials across our restaurants and bars all June. Cruise in Saturday, June 28th, and be one of 25 players to win cool trips, hot prizes, or a new Ford Mustang. Hit the gas at Live Casino at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from driveeasymd.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at driveeasymd.com.
What makes the Costas Inn so special? This is Stan the Fan telling you that it's the people that work for you, cooking and serving. But that menu is also special with a capital S. Soups, salads, the raw bar, pasta dishes, seafood specialties, and entrees like the Costas Combo, steaks, chops, ribs, amazingly delicious meatloaf, and all manner of delicious spilling sandwiches, including pit beef and turkey and subs. Of course, the steamed crabs are as good as you can get anywhere, and they serve them 12 months a year. The crab cakes are out of this world. Costas is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner at 4100 North Point Boulevard, and coming soon, very soon, Costas in Timonium at the OTB Parlor at Timonium Racecourse. We'll get you the opening date real soon.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Want to improve your golf game or learn to play for the first time? The Baltimore Golf Academy has fun, instructional programs for the beginner golfer to everyday players. The Baltimore Golf Academy can take your game to the next level. Enroll today at BaltimoreGolfAcademy.com.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
Oh, now are we now? I don't know. My headset's not on for some reason, so I'll figure out what's going on with that. We're back in here on GCR, and Rob Pannell and Matt Rambo are in studio with us in the Maryland Whipsnakes as we're getting ready for homecoming weekend coming up June 21st and June 22nd at Homewood Field. Again, go to PremierLacrosseLeague.com in order to get your tickets. Matt, I just found out, too, that you're going to be hanging out at an Orioles game here in the next couple of weeks. You're doing,
I think June 10th.
You're doing lacrosse nights.
Yep, June 10th.
You throwing out the opening pitch?
I think last year they had Heacock do, and he didn't reach the plate.
No.
He did, but he didn't throw a strike. But he swears he did.
Oh, but how much did you guys give him crap over that?
All the time.
Okay, have you ever done a first pitch anywhere?
I have not.
Have you, Rob?
No, but I'd love to.
I've never done one anywhere before either. And, like, you feel like, I could do this. This wouldn't be all that difficult, right? But then I actually imagine it would be, like, the most intimidating thing in the world.
It's got to be.
Because if you don't, you're going to hear about it for the rest of your life.
Right.
It doesn't matter that you're two of the more accomplished athletes in the history. Like, you're world champions. Yeah, whatever. We saw you airmail throw into the dugout.
I gave him a lot of stuff last year for it. I mean, I was intimidated yesterday. We were sliding down a pole at the firehouse.
I saw the video.
It was like 30 feet, and you did that so much when you're little. You're up there, you're like, damn, this is kind of scary.
Bro,
and the other guys were doing it with like no hands, just holding with their legs, and we're like, I was sitting there, I'm like, all right, I guess we got to do it.
Are you an adrenaline junkie at all?
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
So have you jumped out of a plane?
Yeah,
Rob, are you adrenaline?
I don't mind. I like
you.
it.
Would you do it?
I would do it, yeah.
Okay, so a couple years ago, the Army Golden Knights pitched me like on a group of like influencers. I was clearly the least attractive person that was part of this group. Would you want to come jump out of a plane with us? And I was like, oh, hell yeah. I would love it. Because I think, like, I don't really have any fears. I'll do the night before. I had a full-on panic attack. Like, I'm sitting in a hotel in Northern Virginia trying to sleep and did not sleep even 5 minutes the entire night because all of a sudden it hits me like, can I screw this up? Like, is there something that I can do? Like, I know you're not, like, you're just along for the ride, like you're jumping out with another dude, but, like, if I, like, move my arms the wrong way, like, am I going to screw this up somehow? And I lost it. Like, I lost it. To the point of I didn't know if I was actually going to get on the plane when I got there. I did. Everything went great. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. But, like, I went through that feeling of, like, dude, am I going to – what's going to happen here when I attempt to do this? What's the coolest adrenaline junkie thing you've ever done?
Me, probably skydiving.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy. I did when I was, right out of college. It was pretty nerve-wracking.
Dude.
You're there with your friends, and you're flying up on the plane. They're, like, open the door in and out. And then next you know, you're seeing one person and they jump out. You think you just jump out, and they're like going, 100 miles an hour to the left.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God.
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah,
right.
I'm like, oh my God. But it was
the guy
worth
messed
it.
with me. We were like up a little ways, and he was like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And he's like, "Great, we're not quite halfway to where we're gonna jump from."
Oh my God.
You son of a bitch.
We're going up there like, you guys want to jump out here, or do you want to go like 7,000 feet higher? We're like, I guess go 7,000 feet higher. What's the difference now?
Dude, he actually did they offer to let you like guide down?
Yeah,
did you do it
and do stuff like that? Yeah.
Dude, when they told me that I could do that, I said, "No, just get me on the ground." Like, we've made it this far. I'm just going to trust that you're going to land this thing at this point.
We went in the morning at like 8, 9 in the morning, and then we didn't take off till like 2 in the afternoon because it was windy, and my mom was kind of freaking out.
Yeah,
like, I think you should
understandably.
probably not do this, and she told me, don't come home for a week, but I called her when I landed, and she told me not to do it again, and I probably won't do it again. I don't need to do it again.
I don't feel the need. Having done it, that's where I am too. Like, if my sons maybe one day, when they're older, are like, hey, would you do it with me? Like, okay, fine, I'll do it. But I don't need to.
Yeah,
I've experienced it. I need to. What about, give me the coolest thing, Rob.
I was thinking about it as you asked that question. I think I'm just kind of boring. I don't know.
I don't think you're boring.
You're
Rob Pannell.
I did a bunch of like up Cornell. We had the gorges and stuff, so we'd always do a bunch of like cliff jumping and into the lakes and the gorges, like knowing that the water's deep, like 50, 60 feet. So I love stuff like that, but I don't know if there's anything like that compared to skydiving of like adrenaline.
Jumping off a cliff to a water is kind of...
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I once went swimming in like the deepest cenote in Mexico, but it was during my honeymoon, so I was hammered, right? And I swear to God, I'm swimming back in, and like my legs stop working. Like I'm just like flailing, like doggy paddling, trying to get my way out of it. I don't want to cause a scene.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, I might die. Like I'm trying to not do that in that moment. It's the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced.
I think I need to do some more.
It might be time.
Exciting things to get the heart rate up.
I would say the Whipsnakes might say maybe after the season. Maybe
we'll do team bonding, skydiving.
Right? Give me I always ask this question, the pinch me moment, right? The thing that you've been able to do, the person that you've been able to meet, someone that's been like a fan of yours that has maybe been the most unreal experience that you've had because of lacrosse, surrounded lacrosse, like the moment where you literally had to say, I can't believe this is my life and this is what I'm doing right now in this moment.
That's a heavy hitter. That's a tough question. I wish I was prepared.
I mean, you might cheat because you won a national championship. Like, I understand that, like, it's kind of hard to beat being that guy. You both also in a pretty exclusive club of, like, one of the greatest trophies in all of sports. Like, I understand those are pretty high on there. But there's got to be, like, someone that you were in company with that at some point you're like, dude, are we
Yeah, no, I have one for that.
Okay.
I mean, the championships are obviously always great and, like, lacrosse-specific stuff. But because of what we've done and who we are in the sport, a friend of mine lived in the same neighborhood as Tom Brady in Boston, and they were friends. And Tom's son lived in the city, and he started to play lacrosse. And he's like, "Hey, Tom wants to know if you can give his son a lesson."
Shut up.
So I was like, "Yeah, of course." So I met him at Randall's Island. Now, I thought it was just going to be the sun, and I get there and I pull up, and I'm on the field, and the kid walks out, and I'm like, "Oh, I got to get some cones from the car." I forgot him. I ran back to the car, and there's like a black car there. Truck, and the back window rolls down and Tom's head pops out the window. And I was like, he's like, "Yo, Rob, thanks for doing this, man. Really appreciate it." I'm like, so he's like, "I'll be out there in a little bit." And it was just after he won the Super Bowl with Tampa.
Wow.
And he had the surgery. So he was in like he had the knee surgery, so he was in like a cast, and he was shagging balls.
No.
Like, he's like telling the kid to work harder. It was so cool. And I remember driving back in the city after, and I almost had to pull over. I was like,
Did that really just happen,
really
right?
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Tom's a man.
Cool.
Yeah, he was such a great dude.
Were
Really
you
cool.
were you utterly and completely cool in that moment? Like, were you just like, yeah, this is normal?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, listen, it was definitely more so after the fact. But I also like didn't know like how hard should I push the kid, and like clearly probably Tom is the way he is.
He is pretty hardcore, right?
He's
Yeah,
the way he is. So
did you push him?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was my first time. It was we had a good time. It was.
I want to imagine you like screaming at him, like, "Come on, man, let's go!"
No, I don't do that.
They're running to the ground.
Matt, what about you?
I think just being around the PLL, there is a lot of famous people, but I think like Scott Van Pelt is such a big Terp fan and everything, and. Last year after we lost the championship, I brought my dad to a Monday Night Football game, and one of the assistant GMs gets me tickets. I coach his son down in Florida, Caldwell, and we were just down on the field pregame, and Scott Van Pelt was there with Kelsey and everyone talking, and just going up, be like, "Hey, Scott, how you doing?" And before I could even get my name out, he was like, "Rambo, what's up? How you doing?" And I'm like, "Man, this guy really does love the Terps," and he was like, "Sorry about the championship game and everything, but we love it."
That's
so
dope.
That was really cool, and
you were
I love
SB
him.
nominee too, right?
Yeah.
You went to the SBs, so we both.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. We were
Yeah,
both
that was
SB
really cool.
I didn't think
nominees.
about that, right? Like
That
best
was
college
really cool.
athlete,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that was
Like,
cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Did you, when you're out there, do you like try to go meet people, or are you like, nah, I'm not?
He's probably better at that than I
I mean, we were walking down, and you introduce you say hi to people, but it's just busy.
Yeah.
Like.
But
You could bring, like I brought my dad as my +1
How
guest,
cool was that
and
for him?
that was really cool.
That's
Like my Eddie George went to Abington, and my dad drove him to school when he was a freshman, and then he went to like Valley Forge Military Academy. And when he was walking down the red carpet, my dad stopped him and was like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Rich Rambo. I used to drive to school, and he was like, "Damn, I haven't seen you in 25 years.
cool,
Everything's good." But other than that, like. It's a red carpet. They don't care about two lacrosse players walking down. They thought we were probably working there.
Did you do the whole thing? They like stop and make you pose for pictures? And
Yeah,
you're
a
just
little
like,
bit. Yeah, it was
like,
cool.
okay,
It was
like I guess I'll do that. I once I snuck the night the Ravens played in the Super Bowl in New Orleans 12 or 13 years ago, whatever it was. I had a PR friend who was like, "Hey, Stevie Wonder's playing a show the night before if you want to go." And I was like, "Yeah, are you kidding me? Who's ever said no to that? Like, absolutely, I want to go." He said, "Well, here's the deal. It's only supposed to be for celebrities. So we're going to say," I was with a radio station that was a Fox Sports affiliate at the time. So they literally made me walk the red carpet and said, "And now from Fox Sports, Glenn Clark." And like nobody, like they're just like, "Who the F is this?" And I'm like walking into the thing like, "Hey guys, Glenn Clark here from Fox Sports," and they're just nope.
I think, me and Rob both did it. He did 3 years ago. I did it last year at the Super Bowl in Vegas. They bring PLL players to the Super Bowl, and they do a lot of parties and events with everyone. Just promote the PLL, and you're just hanging out with like so many celebrities and people that you don't expect to hang out with, and they're just like down to earth, cool people, just like everyone else.
Awesome. I think that's a good thing about the PLL too, though, is that a lot of people and even athletes are more aware of
the brand. Yeah, the brand awareness is significant.
Like the two of us, like you're walking around now, even in places you wouldn't expect it. Like I'll be on vacation with Maggie or something, and people will be like, "You Rob Pannell?" It should be like. I'll be like, yeah, like they just because your face is out there so much more than it's ever been.
It's so funny you say that. So there's a guy that plays for the Ravens. He's from here. His name's Malik Ham, and he played lacrosse in high school. And he was doing a show with us, like a radio show one night. And one of a couple of the other guys that were out there were like, "Oh, you played lacrosse, dude? I've been watching that. Like I'm really." Like to the point about the brand awareness, like they're all recognizing it, and I think the Saturday night thing that we're doing now is really cool for that. Playing under the lights,
Saturday night lacrosse.
Also, maybe not quite as blazing hot as it is in the middle of the afternoon.
It's a little bit better.
That's a benefit as well. All right, young Griffin over here is P1 Whipsnakes fan.
That's right.
Like day one, OG. Could not be a bigger Whipsnakes fan.
That's an OG hat he has on too.
And for the record, this is a straight shoot. Like every Monday, we'll come in and we will talk about the game from the weekend. Like we give you guys lots of play, but every time I say, well, like this Monday, I would have said in a tough one for the Whipsnakes, he says,
"That's our sound."
He has this vision
Yeah.
that he's going to stand in front of the snake pit at Homewood Field and lead everyone. Do it again.
So every time we score, and you got to do the hand motion too.
Yeah, it's important.
It's like the head, exactly. Boom.
Yeah,
like dodgeball when they're walking.
Yeah, kind of like that, like the Cobras, right? Yeah. How do you feel like there's any chance of that?
It might be too.
Well, imagine you got 10,000 people, everyone at home.
Yeah, you gotta have his vision.
Yeah,
we could put some mics in the stands, plant them, so
and everybody hears the hiss, right? Like
get on the jumbotron so everyone knows what they're doing.
So Rob seems to be in on it. Matt, you seem a little bit less inclined.
Yeah, let's try it out. Let's try it out.
All right. We're good.
It was a really reluctant Matt's
let's just do it. Who cares?
I'm here for another 18 minutes. All right, yeah, sure. Whatever you say, man. We'll just do what you want, I guess. That'll be the way that goes.
Might be hard to hear, though. It's everyone doing that.
Everybody going together, and strength in numbers.
After Matt scores his next goal, he'll just look.
Oh yeah, do a little.
Dude, you understand? You would.
That would be.
You
amazing.
would make a little boy's life if you did that. Like
we'll do it.
This like Make-A-Wish boy over here would absolutely lose his mind.
We're doing that.
If you do that this week.
We'll get the team. We'll break the huddle doing that.
Oh my God!
Like remember the Titans? We'll just come out.
Love everything about that. That would be. All right, I want to do some superlatives with you guys.
I'm gonna be crushed if this doesn't happen. By the way. Okay,
oh yeah, this is. You would actually ruin his life if it doesn't happen now. Or some rapid fire stuff. You can change any one rule in lacrosse. You are made the governor of lacrosse tomorrow. You can change any one rule. What's the rule that you're changing?
Professional lacrosse or?
Go either way. Yeah, either way.
You can go.
Well, professional lacrosse does it, but I would change it every other level. Is when when someone drops their stick, and they're trying to get their stick, the ref almost blows the whistle every time because you need to have your stick to play. And it's like he's trying to get a stick. It's just his stick's over there, and there's players in the way. It's just like if someone loses their stick, like just keep playing.
Yeah.
Like the guy's gonna get a stick. Don't stop play or all of a sudden give the team the other ball.
I like that.
It's just I see it happen all the time. It's just like it's very frustrating. I'm sure there's many other things I'd change too, but I'm not gonna say the face off. I don't want to disappoint anybody.
Wait a second. So hang on. Is that because you actually have an opinion about that?
The face off?
Yeah.
Listen, I have the ultimate respect for face-off guys and what they do, and
the face-off guys are going to be
but
tweeting at them any
I
second.
do love sixes lacrosse, and I think it's exciting. And I mean, listen, the Olympics is
we're going to talk about that in a second.
So,
that was actually next on the hit parade, so
go.
we'll get there. Matt, you can change any one thing.
I just think put a 2-point line everywhere.
Okay.
I think it's really cool. Makes the game exciting. Makes these big heavy shooters opportunity to show their skill. It's like a 3-point shooter in basketball. They changed the rules. It's been great in all levels of basketball. Do it for the same thing for lacrosse.
Do you worry that it becomes? Do you ever see times when you play sixes, when you play like you think guys are settling? Like, do you worry at all about like
a 2-pointer is a game changer in sixes, especially if you can get a couple going. But I think in the Olympics there's no 2-pointer in the sixes there, where they did in the PLL, which is a totally different. You play totally different. When you're playing for USA sixes, you're trying to get layups. When you're playing PLL sixes, you get a couple of 2-pointers. You can go up by 6 real easily in 3 possessions.
You brought up the Olympics. Matt and I talked about it a couple months ago because you had never played sixes before, right?
No,
like,
just PLL was the first time.
This was your first time.
It was different.
Rob, I'm sure like you brought up that you've already thought about the math a little bit, right? Like the Olympics are still 3 years away. Do you feel like you could still be at a place that you would be one of the best players in the country, that you could be playing in the Olympics in 2028?
I mean, I don't think it's realistic for me to say that a 12-person roster that there's not guys on there. With that being said, I do think we have experience. We do know how to compete, and it'd be fun to try out. I mean, I don't know what the tryout process is going to be like. If it's going to be an open tryout where you have to fill out an application to go, then it'd be fun.
I did the sixes, the national team camp out in Indianapolis last year. I remember talking to Andy Shea about it, like the idea of 12. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And 2 of them are goalies. Right. So it's 10 players.
And what are you going to do? Are you going to build a team to play Canada? Or are you going to be midfield focused? Or are you going to be offensive focused? Or are you going to take defensive middies? There's so many different ways that you can strategize around it. I mean, and the thing is that Canada is the favorite. Like they beat us.
They play box, right? Like these are the guys that certainly are used to that space. Matt, do you having done it?
No, I will not be trying out for sixes. I'm not that great at defense, but I think it's a really cool opportunity. I do have a lot of box experience, so I do get that. I think I would like to, not saying anytime soon when I'm done, like if there was an opportunity to be on a staff somewhere coaching with my box background with the Philadelphia Wings for 5 years, I think that would be really interesting. And or even if it was with anyone, being able to go to Olympics would be really cool. If it was coaching, if it was playing, or anything like that.
Like it is a big deal.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like 10 players. Like you need to run. You need to run back and forth. You're going to have to take 4 guys that play offense and defense. You got to take 2 guys that play just offense. You got to pick 2 guys that plays just defense, and right there, that's 8 guys right there. So it's so I don't know if you can have a goalie come out and play offense like they did out there. Like, I don't know the whole strategy. Like, God bless Andy Shea being the coach, because I don't get.
We had a long talk about it, right? And like, even at the time, he's like, and I don't know, like, is Bernhardt going to want to play at that point? Is he going to want to throw? There's another guy that I think that is playing basketball somewhere. Who knows if he's going to want to?
These young guys are so talented,
right?
It's like, how are you going to pick a roster? But to your point, and to Matt's point, it's like it's the Olympics, so like, we're gonna one chance we'll have to try out. It's like if we can try out, I'm gonna show up and whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I get what you're.
It's not my mindset.
I appreciate what you're saying.
It's not my mindset, but it is the
You
Olympics.
are also Rob Pannell.
But it is the it's these young guys are super talented.
They're unbelievable. There's no doubt about it.
I think if there was a 2-point line in the sixes in the USA, I think there would be a whole different strategy too.
That's a great
like
point,
who you're
right?
gonna take You're going to take, like, a guy like Bundy that can shoot the ball 1,000,000 miles per hour and, something like that. But you never know. Maybe you need some more attack guys that are going to finish inside. It's tough.
And maybe you play attack and D, because that's what the game is. And you pack it in. It's a lot easier for defense to pack it in when there's no 2-point line and give up a 10-yard shot.
Did you enjoy playing? Did you find yourself like really enjoying playing sixes, or did you
even though we lost every game, but
I thought you guys didn't get one, or
no, we didn't get one. God. We never have, but it was a really good experience. It got me in really good shape, and then I just kept that going into this season. But it was really fun. It was difficult to game plan, and like what Rob said, like you can't pack it in with the sixes and the PLL because the guys are shooting. So you have to press out. But now with USA, you can pack it in. We'll let someone take a 13-yard shot if you got a Krebs or a Blaze in net, something like that. But yeah, it was definitely fun. It was different. I've never played sixes. I've only like rolled the balls out when I was coaching in high school and just like let the guys play and have some fun with it. But it was definitely different. There's a lot more strategy than people think that goes on instead of just running up and down. It was difficult. We'll see what.
Do you think it's going to have the impact that we want it to have? Like, do you think it's going to like we use the term "grow the game" a lot around lacrosse, right? Do you feel like it's going to have the global impact, or is it still just going to be the U.S. and Canada are the places where they're going to care deeply, and like that's just the way that
I think it'll have some impact on like Japan and some other stuff. I hopefully it's global. I think it's going to have a lot of impact on, just in USA as well. Like I'm a big proponent of when you're under, 12 years old or 11 years old, you should just be playing sixes, running up and down, playing every possession. You're getting more touches. Why is the Canadian six still so good at a young age? Because they're playing box. So if you throw the ball out of bounds, it doesn't go out of bounds. It hits the wall, and you're picking up a ground ball.
Playing,
So, you watch some of these like U8 kids play on a big field. That righty attackman might touch it twice, but if you're playing sixes with 12 guys, you're running up and down the field. You're learning how to play defense. You're touching the ball 25 times instead of touching it once, and now you have to get 25 other kids in too. So I think it's better for the youth, really young youth guys to run up and down and get the experience of touching the ball and a lot of touches. It's just the game is taking a wild turn. Like we were out yesterday at Kelly Post, and you see some guys that are 12, 13 years old, and they're on the side doing face-offs when everyone else is doing shooting drills. It's so specialized a sport now, so I think it would be great I think sixes is really important for the sport.
Cool. And you're a fan, Rob. You like the?
Yes. I do like sixes. I couldn't agree more with Matt said. I'm not sure the impact is going to be.
I'm gonna slide this a little closer.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not sure the impact of the Olympics is going to be as great as everybody thinks it is, because if you watch the Olympics and you go back to watching the PLL or another version of lacrosse, you're going to be like, wait,
what is this?
What is this? Yeah. This is completely different. I think that sixes needs to be adopted at a younger age. To Matt's point, I go to watch my 8-year-old's lacrosse games, and it's on a field, and the ball's on the ground the entire time, or it's being 2 passes, and then someone just runs and goes to the goal, and 4 people are touching the ball. Now, if you take that field and you flip it sideways, you can get 3 sixes games going on that field from sideline to sideline, and split the teams up into 3 teams.
And everybody's
getting more touches and running up and down the field. And I think that's so much better from 7 to 14 years old, middle school. That's what kids should be playing. And if that happens and it's adopted more throughout the country and the world, then it'll have a great impact. But right now, no one plays sixes aside from the championship series, and it's kind of it.
Yeah.
And
it is pretty funny watching the 10-year-old carrying a long pole when it's bigger than trying to throw it in track.
I tell you, my kids, like everybody else, because we're from here, so like my kids were like, of course, we're going to play lacrosse when that was the sport they're going to play. And after 2 years, they asked if they could switch to baseball. Like they were like, we didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Like, and you get it. Like, it's just ground balls the entire, and there's 8 kids all going for the same ground ball. Like at that age, there's just not a lot going on at that point. And one kid who's a little bit advanced, so whenever he gets the ball, he's just going to run in and score. Like that's all that it is. How disappointed are you guys in Jake Bernhardt as a recruiter?
We didn't get a lot out of him during training camp, but I think it's nothing to do with Jake. I think Jarrett's his own person, and I know how Jarrett is.
I think I'm gonna hold him responsible personally for this.
Yeah, it sucks because Jarrett is so great, and playing with him, he's the ultimate competitor. He's one of the best athletes I've ever played with. But I don't know. There's a lot of Terps on that Denver team too, so I had a feeling it was either going to be us or the Denver team, and I'm not sure what went down. I know some guys reach out to Jared and everything, but at the end of the day, he's going to do what fits for him the best.
And Rob knows the thing, but from free agency, right? Like you get to have all the power in this situation, whatever the circumstance is that's the best for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure the process he went through. I'm sure he did his due diligence, and I'm very curious to see how it works out with Denver. I'm not sure. Listen, there's for every team has so much talent, right? So.
That is kind of the crazy part about being like an 8-team league is that like you just like I look at how loaded you guys are and then I'm like right, and then everybody else is loaded.
Yeah,
too.
I changed. Yeah, and and training camp was the most important part of the season for him. For him to go to a team and to build chemistry and get to know guys. So now he's going to go in and practice the day before and then play a game and.
I mean, it helps to have both your brother and your college roommate like on that team already.
Of course,
like, those will probably go a long way into getting there.
I'll be curious, and he's obviously an incredible athlete, but I'll be curious how quickly he adjusts to the PLL. Because I don't know how much lacrosse he's been playing, and obviously he's one of the best college players that we've seen. But to then make that transition, I have no doubt that he's going to be able to make it. I'm just curious how quickly he is.
That's an interesting point, right?
I'm not saying he will or will not make it quickly. I'm just.
No, I get exactly. Like it's something interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like somebody's gonna hear that the wrong way. Like, you don't think he can do it? Like, no, it's just you want to see.
He's gonna do it. Just how quickly is what I want to know.
I want to see if he's gonna play attack or midi.
Yeah, right. All right. So now I want to do one other thing. So intern Jake, I want to grab him. We have an intern here at Pressbox and GCR this summer. He is a lacrosse player at Stevenson. He is a hell of a player. Right, like
his name's Jake.
No, his name's not Jake.
He didn't tell me his name. He just shook my hand.
His name is Alex Wilson, who has been through like hell. So he's been through like 6 torn ACLs. Like it's been just, and he was able to get back on the field this year and was playing man up, and he did a great job. So Alex on Tuesdays is responsible for a segment as part of his internship. All right.
Awesome.
And so as you would imagine, because it's a Tuesday segment, it's called Music Monday. All right. So like it makes sense. I'm sure you guys figured that out. Every Tuesday we do Music Monday. And Alex brings to us, because you're a little bit, both of you guys are a little bit on you're closer to my age. I'm 41, so I'm definitely older than you, but I feel like I don't know anything that young people are listening to at this point.
Same.
My summer concert series so far has been Sturgill Simpson and Dave Matthews Band. Like that's where I've been. So Alex's job is to bring to us 3 new songs that young people might be into. And what's the new rating system that you want us to use?
Hip or skip.
Hip or skip, right?
Hip or skip.
And he every week now is like, I'm gonna find. You're gonna like these. Like I'm gonna find ones.
I'm
for
going
you.
like 0 for 6 with Glenn.
Yeah, it's been a tough. I've just realized I'm an old man. I don't like anything.
You should do this with Coach Stagnita.
Oh, that would actually be a really good bit.
He just kicked someone off the tunes this week.
No, for what? What did
3
they?
people.
Yeah, Scott Hopkins guy, defenseman rookie. He
Scott
was on,
Smith. Yeah,
and he came on and played some music, and Stags came on. I was like, "What the hell are we listening to? You're fired. You're not on the tunes anymore."
If Stags was in charge of the music, what would it? Would it be just like Zeppelin the entire time?
It would be like old rock, or some country, and he does like some upbeat stuff. But
he's one of the coolest guys around.
Yeah,
he's
cool.
He's great.
He's got so
right?
much swag.
He told me that he recruited you at a wedding. he said that like it all went down.
It was a year before I think I came, but yeah, we were Mike Earhart's wedding.
Dude, he told me a story.
Big
So
Mike.
as you'd imagine, like we got the Stevenson connection. So Callum Robinson was one of my favorite human beings on the face. He was just one of the greatest human beings ever. And he was telling me a story once about Cal. He's like, yeah, we were out in California with my son, and Cal would just like stand on the porch in his underwear and like wave to people, and it was just like a party. Like, I'm like,
were you calling the USA games in 2014 when he burst onto the scene?
I wasn't with him, man.
That was. We were like, who is this
No,
guy?
that guy
Didn't wear elbow pads.
Right? Like
Team
he was
Australia.
just crazy,
monster,
man. Crazy, and the best human being that ever lived.
Yeah.
Like
Seriously.
he would. So I still call games for Stevenson too, and he would just like pop it. Like he would be home and be like, I'm gonna come call the game with you. And I'd be like, all right, buddy, you got it. Like I'm for it. So you got 3 songs for us this week for Music Monday?
I do.
All right, Griffin, hit the open.
Do we have an open?
No, we don't. That's the point. He's supposed to just like make me and
There
you go. Music Monday. Thank you.
It's Tuesday, so it's Music Monday again.
Thank you very much. Music Monday is brought to you by County Sports Zone. Everything you want to know about high school sports found out countysports.zone. Proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. All right, Alex, 3 songs.
Sir.
We're just going to do this part of Music Monday for now. All right.
You don't want to do the headlines?
We'll get to that.
I had the Diddy trial.
I don't need a Diddy trial update. I'm good. 3 songs, hip or skip.
Hip or skip. All right.
That's the
First
simple. We
one's
can only
rap.
listen to 30 seconds of each song.
First one's rap.
Because
so
we'll get booted
ready.
off of YouTube.
What's it called? Advisory content?
Yeah, adult content alert.
Yeah, adult content. Big adult content on this one.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Who is this?
This is Stax featuring, God, what's this other guy's name? It's like
You're the host of Music Monday.
I can't.
Alex.
Freezy is the who it's featuring.
Freezy.
Yes, sir.
Stacks with Freezy.
Didn't you just say you were a big Freezy
Oh,
guy?
yeah.
Didn't you just say, I celebrate his entire discography, really.
Oh, then you should know this one.
Stacks and Freezy. Hip or skip. What's the song called?
Spin Through Your Block.
Spin Through Your Block.
Yeah,
all right.
In the spirit of Baltimore sports, you know.
Okay, sure. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll go with it. Here we go. These were the 30 seconds you picked?
Oh, just wait.
Got the diamonds on this bitch, you heard me, stupid ass niggas. I said, spin through your pot, they too mad. If I shoot they little man, they won't shoot bad. Dick on the 40, I make your whole crew dance. Heard you want smoke, we gon' kill your whole crew, man. Them rats in my pockets, they blue, man. You said I'm high and I'm looking for you, man. Post on the block, all that campus with you, man. Broke all the body, they gave him a few bands, they will be.
That's got to be a hip. That's got to be a hip.
I got to be honest with you. When I first heard it, I thought, this is going to suck.
Okay.
There's no way.
But
then when he started going, I
can get down with it.
I was kind of feeling a little bit.
Thank you.
What is that called? Like drill rap or something, or is this regular?
Baltimore drill.
Just yeah.
This is a Baltimore rapper.
And this is what we're listening to nowadays.
Wow. You're into this. Like this would be played at practice on a Tuesday night?
Yeah.
All right.
All the time.
I can't believe I'm about to say these words. But I'm going to give this a hip. I wanted to hate it so much when it started. All right, hang on. We got to go around the table.
I'll give it a hip.
Matt Rambo is a hip.
I liked it.
Rob?
Skip.
Oh,
can't give that
I
3
mean,
hips.
yeah, I'll give it a hip. I mean,
wow.
I could like work out to that for sure.
You've definitely got the highest score. You might want to quit right now. You might want to just bag out and say it's never going to be this good again.
But he's from DC, actually.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You should know better.
I mean, yeah, you're right. He's got.
You've been around for a minute.
PG County.
We don't claim them. We don't. It doesn't work that way. People get really worked up about this. Like, isn't it the DMV? No, it's not. Baltimore is not part of the DMV. No, I know it's probably the Maryland Whipsnakes want it to all kind of be one market. So maybe we should ease up on all this in the moment. All right, that was very good. That was I'd say it's a 6 out of 10, but I'm giving it a hip. All right, next.
Second one we got EDM.
Gonna love this.
He introduced a DJ Daddy Trance last week.
Yeah, DJ Daddy Trance.
Yeah.
That got a skip.
Yeah, that was a quick one. Next,
not like
who's this?
This is Sosa, Painless Love.
Sosa. Sammy Sosa?
Nah, Sosa, he's from the UK.
All right, here we go.
He's gonna say shopping mall music.
I'm really torn on this one. This is the exact opposite of the other one. I thought it was starting strong this time.
Yeah.
I wanted to like this. I thought it was going. I told him before. There's EDM songs that I really like, right? Like the Clarity song, like all that. But I wanted to have a big, bold hook, and it just sort of like.
It's coming. Give it 5 more seconds.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's gonna be one in this song.
Is there one? If there's one, I'm willing to give it another opportunity.
There's a break, so we won't get copyrighted. Like we took a break between them.
I think so. I think that still counts for fair use. I don't know the
rules. Waiting for the drop.
Right.
Drop it.
Here it comes.
It's devastating for me to give 2 hips. I like it. I'm giving it a hip.
I'm gonna give it a hip too. It's more my speed.
Okay.
I give it a hip too.
Oh my God!
Feels like I'm in St. Bart's
This is
again.
a huge moment.
I mean, yeah. Is this boiler room music?
Yeah, right.
For sure, boiler room.
Have you guys ever been to a boiler room?
No.
This is apparently a thing for young people now. I don't know anything about it.
Is that where the parties
It's like
are at?
EDM in a basement, essentially. It's like all it is.
I have not been.
Yeah, right.
We used to call that after hours in college.
It's the same concept.
Did we go 4 for 4
No,
on
that
hit?
was just 2.
No,
oh, yeah,
no.
4 for 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
God.
This is my best performance
Seriously,
to date, dude.
stop right now.
Stop now.
Don't do another song.
See, this one I had you in mind.
Okay, what's on your pregame playlist?
I am the least musical person you'll meet.
Really?
So whatever is on the team locker room, like I'm listening to.
Yeah, whatever the DJ is playing. But if I need to get fired up, we might have to throw some Meek Mill on right before we get out there.
You're a Philly guy.
I'm more EDM.
Or maybe some classic rock stuff. That's what some powerful Welcome to the Jungle kind of stuff like that. Yeah,
I dig that. I'm an
Can't go
AC/DC guy. I like that.
Like that wouldn't be on that last song wouldn't be on my pregame. Like I can't get fired
I can't
up.
help it. Like I felt
but I
it a
could
little
bop
bit.
to it,
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
it
saying.
keeps you calm. Yeah.
Vibes from that?
I think
No, I
40
don't.
minutes before the start of the game, that kind of
Yeah,
the fans just rolling in, you're trying to get everybody else.
I like 2013 EDM, like Avicii.
Yeah.
So does Glenn.
Yeah, that's sort of my
pregame stuff.
That's
If I need something.
All right, last one. If you get 3 hips from me, he swore
this
yesterday.
is the
He's
one
like,
I picked for you. So.
Oh boy.
This has 9 views.
All right.
It's really new. It's really new.
What is
It's like a
this?
live band, but they just technically just put it in an album, so it's still new.
But
music.
young people are into them.
Yeah.
They have 9 views.
Yeah,
So
I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't know how we would.
Yeah, I
Who is
might have
this?
missed the young person.
I've
second part
tried
of this,
to tell you 100 times this is supposed to be. He's so desperate for my approval.
Yeah, hey, listen.
I went over. I went over 6.
Yeah,
Gotta go for it.
It was a real tough start.
9 views. They're all Alex's.
Yeah. Right. All right. What is this?
This is called Unsaid by Capital Zen.
Capital Zen Unsaid. Find out about Capital Zen. All right, that part I like.
It's got the soul.
Okay. I really dig the music.
Okay, a little back porch.
I really
Sunny night.
dig the music.
Saxophone there? Or who's that?
Yeah, had to have been.
Here's the problem, and I have to say it out loud. During the verse, the guy singing sounded like Weird Al Yankovic. Like
Weird Al.
Kids Bop while he was singing.
Like he just sounded very low rent. It sounded like he was like a parody singer trying to sing a song, like somebody doing a cover of Capital Zen. Like that was the issue that I had there, because otherwise I liked everything else about it. But I'm sorry you're not getting 3 hips today. That's going to have to be a skip for me. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
That's going to have to be a skip. Rob?
I'll give it a hip. I could feel myself listening to that. Like
again, I like the music. I like
Rob. The problem is that song was also 5 minutes long, so it was kind of a kind of a longer one there.
You wouldn't go well at a Dave Matthews Band concert.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that would be the shortest song. You ever seen the Dead and Company? Yeah. It's gonna be a long night for Griffin. He's like, this song's been going on for 4 minutes, and they're like, and they're still in the intro.
They have 147 monthly listeners on Spotify.
What is this? Is this your friend's band that you're trying to put over? Is this what, you know this is what it is. He found out that Rob and Matt were coming in today, and he wants to put his
Let's
friend.
check his Venmo account quickly.
Like, he's putting his friend's band over, and this moment is exactly what's happening.
Capital Zen's gonna be bumping in the Whipsnakes locker.
Yeah,
Matt?
That's a skip for me. Good music, like the sax, but I wasn't down with it.
I think the sax is what got me.
The sax is winner. It's a winner.
The sax is.
I think I'm skipping too. The sax was good, but like that's probably what 40 seconds of
poor Capital
5 minute long song.
Poor guys. Poor guy.
I was coaching high school this year in Florida. One of our coaches is a DJ now, and all my kids found out he was a DJ, and he got like the best street cred, and they would play his music before pregame. It was pretty funny.
That's pretty great, actually.
And he's got a lot of views from these kids now.
The Ravens had a running back a few years ago named Gus Edwards. I think he was with the Chargers last year. I don't know if he signed.
Gusto.
And he was a rapper named Gusto. And like nobody in the locker room knew about it. They're like, yeah, we heard he put out an album. It was incredible.
Wow.
Like it was legitimately very good. And everybody's just like, this dude never talks. Like he never talks in the locker room. And he's just got bars.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
He can run.
We know we got to let these guys go. Can we wrap up the show? Is it possible to do? Oh, John, you got the food? You want to bring food in?
Right here.
John, you should do the presentation here. Cool. Our friends at Costas Inn, who have a new location open in Timonium at the racetrack, they sent over some crab cakes. Are you guys crab cakes guys?
I like crab cakes, yeah.
Costas Inn crab cakes are a high-level crab cake, and I'm a crab cake snob. Can you get some plates, some forks, bring them in for the boys? Alex, he's been holding. Alex has been sitting on the crab cakes the entire time.
I just got in, man.
I don't know, man.
Where's the best crab cakes?
I mean, Costas Inn is extraordinarily high on the list, legitimately. I'll write a couple other places down that don't spend money with us. How quickly you got to get out? How much? Nick, you tell me. How quick do you have to be out of here?
We're good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you're in charge, right? Yeah. I'm asking Nick. You're like, yeah. This is. We'll tell you when you're going to be somewhere else. We'll get you some plates, get you some crab cakes. Griffin, can we skip Tidbit today? Is that possible?
Yeah, we can skip.
All right, we'll skip Tidbit
you
today.
You want to play Cole Wild though? That's
No, I was just showing you. He has his one song has like almost 1 million
Who is
listens.
this guy?
He was one of my coaches. He played at Rutgers. It's pretty. And it's
Where's Alex?
700. You know.
Yeah, right. This is he picked
Where's
a guy
Alex?
with
I wanna ask if
100
he knows
with
Cole.
100 listeners, and instead this guy's got like millions, and he's just a coach. Like,
Yeah.
hey.
He made one hit song.
So if we were doing Tidbit, it'd be brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. We're going to be there Thursday night for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Who you got in the Finals?
I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, so the Pacers.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like I feel like I'm reliving my childhood over
Yeah,
again.
this is
That
Reggie
game one,
Miller,
that game
right?
one,
Yeah.
Reggie Miller, Halliburton. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I hope OKC wins just because I can't stand the Pacers.
Oh man, that's tough. They beat you guys. I mean, it was fair and square.
Nah, I don't.
That's the way that it works.
Nah, yeah.
What about you, Matt?
I got OKC.
There's a Terp on the OKC roster,
Right, and I think they did a great job. I'm a Philly fan, and how they rebuild everything. I wish Philly kind of did the same way with all their
trust the
picks
process
and everything. Yeah,
have the process turn out.
Yeah, not that great. But yeah, I like SJ. Yeah, I like his game. He's good.
We'll be there Thursday night for Game 1 of the Finals. Hang out with us inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel. Griffin, can you go ahead and hit that, and we'll just do a 2-second version of Tubular to wrap it up? Yeah, we got to do this.
Okay, everybody, it's going to be quick today.
What was the main focus today, Coach?
Fundamentals, ball control. It's always huge.
Any early thoughts on the competition this year?
Well, look, this is the best of the best players in the world. It's going to be an amazing tournament.
Tournament?
Yeah, the BMW Championship at Caves Valley. What are you guys talking about? All they ever ask me about is football.
Real quick, here's what's coming up tonight. Orioles do open up a series in Seattle on the road, 9:40 on Masson 2. Tomoyuki Sugano on the mound against George Kirby. Francis Tiafo trying to hang in there against Musetti, still to come. Another men's quarterfinal today, and another American playing a little bit later on today. Tommy Paul and Carlos Alcaraz still to come on TNT and True TV.
We like Tommy Paul's chances, though, right?
Yeah, it's Carlos Alcaraz, dude. Like, no.
He's back.
Yo, he looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find everything else at GlennClarkRadio.com. That's coming up. Can we put everything online?
Yeah. Season 7 on Peacock, Love Island.
Oh yeah, I haven't missed one. I haven't missed one. It's not going to start today.
For that.
Crab cakes.
They're
Thumbs
great.
up.
Unreal.
These are really great.
Costas Inn crab cakes, and I'm telling you, available now at the brand new Costas Inn, now open. Still the original. The OG is still there. But now a second location just opened yesterday in Timonium at the racetrack in the grandstand. Get over and check out the brand new Costas Inn. All right, homecoming weekend coming up in 3 weeks at Homewood Field. Get to PremierLacrosseLeague.com in order to get your tickets for a homecoming weekend with the Whipsnakes. Remind me where everybody can follow you guys on social. Rob, you are?
Rob Pannell 3.
Rob Pannell 3.
I'm Rat Mambo.
Rat Mambo on Twitter, one of my favorites. Guys, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having us. This was
really
great.
appreciate it.
This is great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks to these guys. Thanks also to Preston Wilson, who joined us earlier. We'll get it up in the greatest hits section of the
Galveston
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. We got stuff tomorrow. We'll worry about that then. Thanks, everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Game Day Men's Health, Live Casino and Hotel, the BMW Championship Crown Trophy, Easy Pass, Baltimore's Classic 5 Golf Courses, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, the Costas Inn, Maryland Sports, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Thanks to Jake. Remind me what it is.
Alex Wilson _.
Thank you. Alex Wilson _ is how you follow him. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday evening. Go Birds.
Can't wait for that.
Come on, Matt.
Homecoming weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duke sucks.